Would throw here. Stands back near his own end zone. Fires it out, and Gorkuber's got it. He's up past the 30, 40, midfield, down to the 40. He could go all the way. Oh, my goodness. Here is Talon Witt. He's going to pitch it out. Now it's a pass. Mason Witt wide open as Thomas Hendricks. He's going to go for the touchdown. So it ends up being a falls. Now the Cardinals look to go on offense here. There's Julian Ramos. He'll take a shot, and he finds the back. Now we've got a ball threaded through and a chance here. Coming up the left side, and here's a shot and a goal! Send it back over, Rupert with the dig. The simple back setting for Crocht. Burke dug out. Ramsey will set it up to Reller again. Rejected! Oh my! And work the punt back into the Otters' end. Thorson trying to bring it out front. Now here's a shot and a score! Now another rebound, that gets blocked. Breakout pass, Thornburg up the right side. He's got room, takes the shot, save made. For a forward 1.5 somersault pike. He's up high on the... Now it looked to be fairly solid there.
This move that bail as a release move is a difficult move that they want to see as one of the required skills to her Giants.
Yep, and now off and pretty a fall here for Ty Larson.
Right, worked this into a headlock.
Yep, pretty tight hold
there
here. There you
is.
go. Oh, but Talon Witt on the weak side gets the rebound off the Grady Starzl miss. Now driving is Talon at 47-30. Under 11 minutes to go, and now a steal for Roderick to Hagstrom. Samson Hagstrom drives, and then three-point shots, and the Otters trail by just 3 at 14-11. Here's Alexandria's Ali Habala curling into the lane, sends it into the left corner where Toole is open and chills the front court. Here's Habala out top, now driving, feeding off to Helsher on the left wing. Bingo! Sports report for the 5 o'clock news hour not airing today because we have the early start for our prep girls swimming and diving coverage with Alexandria at 1-3 on the year, hosting 2-2 St. Cloud Tech, and the meet will be getting underway as we get to the top of the hour. Dave Molesworth, who is very well connected with club swimming in the community of Alexandria, he will be on hand as my broadcast partner for this evening's coverage on KXRA Radio, and also you can watch tonight's coverage through the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube. You can access that from our website at voiceofalexandria.com, and now on the Voice of Alexandria app on your mobile phone, you can get to the video streaming in as little as pressing 2 buttons. At the bottom of the Voice of Alexandria app on your phone, just look for the Cardinal Sports option, press that button. It brings you up to the Cardinal Sports page, and then toward the top of that, you can press a button and get to our live video stream, which includes the KXRA play-by-play. Should be a competitive meet tonight. As we mentioned, St. Cloud Tech coming in at 2-2 on the year. Alexandria 1-3. It's interesting to note all of the losses have been on the road for the Alexandria Cardinals, while the one win was here against the Wilmer Cardinals back in the early part of the season. My thanks to all of the boosters of our Alexandria Cardinal sports programming, helping to bring you our coverage tonight on the radio and also on the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube. Special thanks to Jutner Motors for being the presenting sponsor of our pregame and pre-meet coverage. JP Boline is our videographer tonight. He is on hand here at Discovery Middle School, so he is behind the camera tonight. We extend our special appreciation to Integrity Title of Alexandria for being the signature streaming sponsor of our Alexandria Sports play-by-play all throughout the 2025-26 school year. Again, it is a fun night to be at the Discovery Middle School pool, a pool that has been open for more than 3 decades. If you are a longtime Alexandria resident, you know that Discovery Middle School opened its doors for the 1994-95 academic year. So in essence, for the Alexandria girls swimming and diving team, a 31st season of being in the Discovery Middle School pool as the home pool. And if you have not been to the Discovery pool as of late, you'll notice something new on the scoreboard. That is the brand new electronic message board and video scoreboard as well. It's amazing. Coach Stohog will share with us during our next segment how a tremendous amount of dollars were raised. I believe the retail price for the brand new electronic message board and scoreboard here at Discovery Middle School was upwards of $70,000, and all that funding was raised during the summer months. So the panels on the board were installed over the last week or so, and now the new electronic board is being used for the very first time tonight here at the Discovery Middle School pool. So we will be looking forward to bringing you the action coming up. Again, the varsity and JV competition will be blended tonight, and that will be getting underway very early in the 6 o'clock hour. Again, we extend our appreciation to all of the boosters of our Alexandria Cardinals sports programming, helping to bring you this evening's coverage of Alexandria girls swimming and diving, live from Discovery Middle School in Alexandria. The Alexandria Cardinals competing at home for just the second time this year. The Alexandria team will have some other home competitions before the 2025 regular season wraps up. Now I'm going to welcome to the broadcast tonight, I believe the first time I've had the opportunity to visit with the coach on the air. Dave Molesworth is very active in the swimming club here in the community of Alexandria and also in Stevens County. He's the head coach of the University of Minnesota Morris women's swimming and diving team. Dave, first of all, we appreciate the opportunity to have you join us for the broadcast tonight. For me personally, it's our second Alexandria girls swimming and diving meet that we've ever had on the air, and I'm so grateful that you're along for the coverage tonight.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's fun to be here and watch a bunch of these kids compete and hopefully do really well tonight.
I know that you're very active with the Alexandria Swim Club during the year. For those that might not track the sport of swimming closely, when does the swim club have its schedule, if you will, with competitions and even your opportunity to interact with the swim club members that do participate?
So the USA Swimming Club is a year-round club. So we have a fall-winter season, and then we have a spring-summer season as well. So during this time, we'll get started here in a couple weeks, and then we'll have a lot of the high school boys and a lot of the younger kids joining us. And then when the boys go back to the pool, then we'll see those girls start coming back in. And then at the end of that, for a couple weeks, we can get both. And then we get into spring-summer where we kind of have everybody that's not in a fall sport or a spring sport. And then through the summer, we compete all summer long. So.
Do you find participation numbers do flex a little bit during the course of the year? Maybe higher numbers in the spring when both high school swim seasons are wrapped up?
We do. The challenge for us, especially being outstate, is we see a lot more multi-sport athletes. A lot of the big clubs in the cities, those kids, that's all they do is swim year-round. You come out here and we got a bunch of kids in track and baseball, softball, and a bunch of other stuff. And I honestly, as a college coach, I think that's great. Be in as many things as you can, experience as much as you can, and just see what fits for you.
Very good. Dave, we will look forward to your commentary as we go throughout the night. Again, welcome back home. I'm sure you've been in this venue many, many times with your daughter Ashton and your son Jameson, who had the opportunity to compete at Discovery Middle School in the pool.
Thanks for having me. It's fun to be back. It's fun to watch this pool and this group of kids.
Very good. Dave Molesworth is my broadcast partner tonight, and we look forward to his insight and commentary as we go through the course of this evening's competition. Again, we're looking at 6 o'clock for our varsity start. It is a blended varsity JV meet, so in events where it's just varsity alone, that event will be staged. But if there's a junior varsity heat or two, then the JV heat will compete before the varsity. We will be working in sponsor messages during the course of this evening's broadcast. Some of that may cover up some of the JV competition. I know that we'll try to give recognition for the JV competitors that are going to be in the pool, but the prime focus here will be on the varsity heats and the diving competition as well. All straight ahead on this Thursday evening for Homecoming Week 2025. We are at Discovery Middle School in Alexandria tonight. Let's take our first break during our Jutner Motors pre-meet show. I had the opportunity to put together about a 14-minute interview with Alexandria girls swimming and diving coach Mark Stohog. We will hear that in our next segment right here on KXRA Radio and also streaming live on the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube.
Enjoy life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. Agard, we build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
CM Woodworks produces high-quality cabinetry and furniture locally, right here in Nelson. See their showroom at 7300 39th Avenue Northeast in Nelson. CM Woodworks. Custom wood creations. Designed for beauty, built for life.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new and used equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best, piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center, for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
The Tradesman Construction has built a rich history as being the premier, most referred, full-service general contractor in the area. They are a proud supporter of all Alexandria Cardinal teams. Find them online at tradesmanconstruction.com.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trumdrug's app, Rx Local. Download the app, choose Trumdrug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trumdrug, locally owned, locally loved.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for experienced, hardworking people to join my company. When you work for us, you'll be home every night, no overnight hotels. Give me a call and visit my website, because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Welcome back to Discovery Middle School in Alexandria as we have more of our Jutner Motors pre-meet show. On the way tonight, we've got high school girls swimming and diving. The Alexandria Cardinals are hosting the St. Cloud Tech Tigers. It is the Cardinals' homecoming dual meet here in 2025. Dave McClurg joined right now for our Alamere Health Coaches Comments feature with the head coach of the Alexandria girls swimming and diving team, Mark Stohog. Mark, I know that you're not completely unfamiliar with the group of kids that you're working with, as it's your second straight year as head coach in this tenure for the Alexandria Cardinals. But when you talk about the roster that you are working with, have you coached pretty much everybody on the varsity team this year, or do you have some other newcomers that are earning their spots on varsity?
You know, we've got a pretty good freshman crew, about 12 swimmers, and they're finding their niche. There's some pretty coachable kids in there, and they're finding their way little by little into the varsity lineup.
When it comes to the grade-by-grade breakdown, are there certain classes, such as your junior, senior, sophomore class, where the numbers tick a little bit higher, or are the larger numbers primarily your freshman class right now?
Yeah, I think we've got like 8. We've got like eight seniors, probably 6 or 8 of the juniors and sophomores as well, and then but our freshman class is our largest.
I know that your team has competed in 4 duels so far, I think primarily in the Central Lakes Conference. What have you seen out of the first 4 duels this year? I think the one win was at home against Wilmer, and then your ladies have been on the road quite a bit too.
Yeah, we've been finding some pretty quality teams out there. Not that they're larger than ours. I mean, we've got a good squad of 32 or 33 kids. But there's a few quality athletes that we are seeing on the opposing teams that we just can't keep up with on our team.
With your team, do you have some people that have been significant point getters so far for the Alexandria Cardinals? I know one individual that might come to mind, but I'll let you identify who that might be.
Yeah, I would say our leading scorer right now is probably Hannah Hoff. She's our backstroker, and we're expecting that she'll be another section place medalist and a state qualifier. And we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed now that we're in AA. Cora Bumgardner is another good one. She's a butterflyer. But Brinley Zehammer, she's a sprint freestyler. She's got her sights on the podium for sections. But it's going to be a tough, now that we're in AA for this year, it's going to be a tough sled when we get to the section tournament. We find teams like Moorhead and Bemidji and Brainerd and south to Elk River and Rogers and St. Michael and so forth. So, it's going to be a little tougher to get on the podium at sections, and it's going to be a lot tougher to make those state cut times.
When you found out from last school year to this, Mark, that Alexandria had been reclassified for both girls swimming and boys swimming, it seems like a lot of Alexandria's athletic teams got moved up one class from where they were last school year. Did that surprise you, or were you kind of reading the tea leaves thinking maybe we would be AA this year?
Yeah, I mean, I heard our enrollment was 59th out of 64, and this is the top 64 teams that end up in AA. So 59th, we're going to be there. So we were kind of coming to grips with it, looking at the AA cut times, and looking back to the fall of last season to see what the AA section was like, and kind of integrating our times in there to see how we were going to fare. But it's kind of frustrating because now, there's a rumor out there that there'll be other geographical changes, and suddenly we may be back in single A in a couple of years. So it's like, when are we going to be? I hate to go back and forth. I mean, it's just kind of frustrating. And then it's also frustrating the fact that there are some single A teams that are blowing everybody's doors off, and it would be nice if they just, find their way to the AA permanently, and then we probably wouldn't have to, be on this bubble back and forth, and because it's going to be difficult to go back and forth like that all the time.
Mark, I know that not only do you have the change in class, obviously that affects where you go for sections. I think Brainerd High School will be hosting the Section 8 AA, but did the schedule get any overhaul at all because of the change in class from A to AA?
No. In fact, I eliminated a couple of meets that, now that we're in Section 8A or AA, as it were, we're not swimming teams like Sauk Center or Little Falls. We don't see them in section play either class. So I eliminated those two from our schedule. So we're just doing our bit in the conference right now, and that's nine duels, out of the 10 schools. So that's basically one a week, and there is a week in there or two that we have two. So I mean, I don't want to bog down our schedule and start swimming two contests a week. I don't think any school I don't think any team thinks that they're going to get any better by going to contests. They'd rather practice and perfect their techniques or whatever the sport would be, but rather than we should schedule Brainerd, and we do schedule Brainerd. We should schedule Bemidji or Moorhead, or maybe we should go to Elk River, and next thing you know, we're just doing nothing but competing, and we're not practicing and getting any better.
So in essence, would you consider the perfect number of duels to be somewhere around 9, maybe 10, if you had the almighty scheduling pencil?
Yeah, I mean, we've got 10. I think we've got 10 contests with our meet coming up this Saturday in West Fargo at the border. We call it the Border Battle, and we're going to see Bemidji and Moorhead there. So that would be kind of nice. We get to see a couple of section teams, see what's what, at least from the northern schools. But yeah, I kind of like this right now, is the fact that we don't have to keep competing all the time, and we're able to come home and get some practices in, and get better with our technique and race strategies we can talk about and simulate in practices rather than just going to contests all the time.
At this point of the year, Mark, I would guess this would be kind of middle of the regular season schedule. I know you've got several duels still ahead along with the 4 that have been completed. Has the training for the ladies, has that adjusted at all since you got together with them in August? I know that T word known as taper usually comes toward the end of the year, but it's still a ways till we get to the end of the year.
Well, Dave, I think you know as well as I do that we do have, as long as we've known each other, the 40 years or 35 years that we've been talking together, we do have different phases of the season. We spend 3 weeks in just endurance training, long distance swimming, building our endurance, which you can do at low speeds, and and filtering in a little bit of sprinting. The middle of the season is more of a grind. We're stepping up the intensity, but nevertheless we're making them work hard with a little bit less rest, and then at the end of the season we have sprinting for 3 weeks or so. So we've got basically three weeks here in the season where we go from one type of workout to the next type of work, and then end up with the taper at the end of the season so we can have our peak performance there at sections or conference or whatever the case may be.
We are visiting right now with Mark Stohog, the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinal girls swimming and diving team, for our Alamere Health Coaches comments. We have broadcast coverage on the way as we get into the 6 o'clock hour. It is the dual meet between Alexandria and St. Cloud Tech, the Cardinals homecoming duel here in 2025. Regarding this head-to-head meeting, Mark, I know it's difficult to, do score comparisons and everything like that, but I think the Tigers and the Cardinals have had some common opponents so far. I anticipate that, this could be a competitive meet. Are you kind of thinking the same thing, that, the team that prevails here might be in the upper 90s to low hundreds for the team score?
Yeah, I would think. I've gotten the gist that Tech's not very big. They don't have, half the JV events. They can't even, produce any contestants in. So it doesn't seem they're very big, but they still have a few of those quality athletes. So I'm sure I hope it's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, no doubt. As you kind of analyze, are there certain events that will be coming up on tonight's schedule that will be pivotal as to, if your team comes out on top in the homecoming duel, you have to fare well in certain events?
Well, the relays are, pretty crucial. They're worth 8 points for a win, and so those are big. So we're hoping to score as well as we can there, although we're short one person, Addie Erickson, who's been one of our top point scorers too. She's got a knee problem, so she won't be competing today. So that might hinder us from making as big of a stand as we'd like to against the Tigers. But I hope we can make it interesting for everybody.
Before we wrap up our conversation, I do want to note a cosmetic change that people will see when they visit the Discovery Middle School pool, and that's the new item on the north wall here in the pool. How impressive, Mark, is it to have that brand new electronic scoreboard up on the north wall? And if you're able to share a few moments to kind of comment about how that all became possible, because I know when I visited with you last winter, when we were broadcasting boys swimming and diving up in Brainerd, you had the information with me that there was going to hopefully be some fundraising done for it, but lo and behold, we've got that new electronic scoreboard in.
Yeah, last fall when we were visiting Sartell for a dual meet, I happened to have a granddaughter, one of the school board members, who said, hey, we should have one of those, because Sartell had a video display board. And so that kind of got us started. We got a fundraising effort going later in the early spring, I guess it would be. And we got some quotes from Colorado Timing, which has produced our other scoreboard. But we fundraised for 2 months, and we raised the entire $70,000. And we just finished. We're still doing some finishing touches on it as we speak to make it visually interesting for the crowd tonight. So we spent 3 days tearing down the other one and building panel by panel with the new one. So we're excited about what might transpire and how impressed everybody's going to be. It's like a big TV. I mean, it's 9 feet tall and 16 feet wide, and so it's imagine that. It's pretty impressive, and it's very you can format it the way you want. I mean, we just I put together a diving screen today. I hope that's interesting to look at and stuff. But we just didn't have time to do an individualized swimming one, so we put a stock one on there that was inside the programming. So we're gonna work with that tonight, and then maybe for the next home meet next Thursday, we can maybe put together something that's more tailored to what we would like to see instead of just something off the shelf, from inside that program.
I think you mentioned to me before we started up the conversation, the old board is it's not going to be dying in a spot where it won't be seen anymore. I understand that's going to be repurposed. Is that correct?
Yeah, we were hoping that somebody would take it. We were going to sell it for cheap, and so the latest I heard was that Montevideo was going to come up and maybe take it off our hands. Yeah, we don't want it to go to some scoreboard graveyard somewhere. And I mean, because it still runs, it's still fine, even though it's 17 years old. But we're hoping that we can get it off the floor and out the door on a trailer in the near future, so we can clean up our mess a little bit over there in the corner.
Very good. Mark, we appreciate the conversation before the dual meet tonight. Best wishes to you and the Alexandria Cardinal girls swimming and diving team. And let me give you an extra special thanks for connecting with my broadcast partner for the night, Dave Molesworth. Of course, he's very familiar with Alexandria swimming on the club level and everything. So for him, it's almost like seeing some of the kids he has the opportunity to be around at different times of the year. But thanks for all that you do.
You bet. Thank you.
There is Mark Stohog. He's the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinals girls swimming and diving team. Our special guest as part of our Alamere Health Coaches comments during our pre-meet show.
And that pre-meet show is being presented to you by Jartner Motors of Alexandria. You're listening on People Radio KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM, audio as well through the Voice of Alexandria app. Thanks for watching our coverage tonight. We have the live video with the KXRA play-by-play through the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube. I believe we are moments away from having the national anthem, and as part of our broadcasts on our Leighton Media platforms this year in honor of our country, we are featuring the playing of the national anthem as part of our broadcast. That's being presented to you by Carlson Music Center in Alexandria. For all of your musical needs, you can visit online at carlsonmusiccenter.com. carlsonmusiccenter.com. As we get into the meet itself, again, our Alamere Health introduction of the lineups, it's actually probably going to be ongoing event by event as we go through the night. The first event of the night will be the 200 medley relay, and we will have a junior varsity heat and a varsity heat as well. And then the next few events after that, I believe the 200 free and the 200 IM are varsity-only events. So some of the events that are going to be run tonight will have JV competition and varsity competition. All of the varsity events are going to be run as scheduled, but some of the events may have varsity-only competition tonight. So nice crowd on hand. Of course, we are at Discovery Middle School in Alexandria, where the seating capacity for the spectators is in excess of 700. In fact, Mark Stohog was saying that 715 spectators were in this arena for the first ever meet at Discovery Middle School. That occurred toward the end of the 1994 season. Again, the school opened up in the fall of '94, but some of the early meets on the dual meet schedule were actually at the pool at the old Central School. And then this pool opened up for the section competition that fall, and they had a capacity crowd that night of more than 700 spectators. So Good crowd on hand here tonight. A lot of the St. Cloud Tech faithful situated down below us off to the right, almost directly across from the Tech bench area. As you watch on the YouTube channel, the Alexandria athletes will be over toward the left, and the St. Cloud Tech athletes will be over toward the right. Jen Drakkar is the head coach of the St. Cloud Tech girls swimming and diving team. Interesting to note, she is a teacher at St. John's Prep in Collegeville, teaching on the high school level. But I asked Coach Drakkar ahead of the broadcast tonight, does that mean you coach some of the kids that you teach during the school day? She said no. St. John's Prep actually pairs with St. Cloud Apollo for girls swimming and diving. Not sure if that's the case for boys swimming and diving. So Coach Drakkar coaches Tech, but then during the fall season when Tech and Apollo compete against each other, some of the students that she mentors during the classroom day are on the other side competing for the Apollo Eagles. Right now, Alexandria is in a conference, the Central Lakes, which does have 10 member schools, and as a result, 10 member teams. St. Cloud Apollo and St. Cloud Tech are separate for swimming and diving, both boys swimming and girls swimming during the course of the school year. So as a result, as Coach Stohog mentioned during the Alamere Health Coaches' comments a short time ago, that the dual meet schedule includes 9 competitions, but Alexandria has the opportunity to compete against everybody in the Central Lakes Conference. I know that a couple of stronger opponents will be on the Alexandria schedule a little bit later on in the season, as both Brainerd and Sartell are on the horizon. Brainerd presently is undefeated in the CLC dual meet standings. Sauk Rapids Rice is close behind. I believe the Storm have won all 4 of their dual meets. Alexandria did face Sauk Rapids Rice last week, and the Storm came out on top in that head-to-head duel. So I believe we're just about ready for the honoring of our country and the national anthem. We'll take our last break as part of our Jutner Motors pre-meet show after the anthem is played. So Dave Molesworth, again, great to have you here tonight as our commentator. Regarding your affiliation with the Alexandria Swim Club, I had somebody ask me ahead of our broadcast, how many years have you been involved in doing that? Has it been greater than a decade now, or?
So this summer was, I started in the summer, and that was 16 years ago. So this was my 16th summer with the club.
All right. And of course, you've had kids that have gone through the Alexandria Swim program, so they've also been part of the club team. But what are some of the things that you enjoy? Of course, you're a college coach during the fall season, but you get to coach younger people at different times of the year. What do you enjoy about doing that?
I get that question a lot, and college is one of those things where everything you do it's small details, it's minute things, it's tiny little things that make big differences. You go to the club and all of a sudden you're working with a 10-year-old, all they've got to do is one big thing better and they drop time. So it really kind of is fun. You get this little kid who drops a ton of time because they're capable of doing it, and they're so excited and they just don't really know how they did it. And then you go to a college group and you're doing underwater filming and you're looking at a 4-degree pitch on an arm, and that's going to help a kid improve, and you're like, from moving your arm to one direction versus a 4-degree pitch, it's just so different. And it's kind of feeds your mind to work with little kids and then work with those kids that are, really down to the nit-gritty of it.
Yeah, so really you're kind of getting young people interested in the sport, and obviously when they see that time drop, that's always a point of excitement.
It is, and for the coaches, it's just as exciting, honestly, because you see that kid, they look up at the clock and they're like, I didn't know I could do that. And it's like, well, we did. And they just kind of learn that over time, that the better they do those things and work on them, the better they're going to get. So it is a lot of fun to work with those young kids.
And again, we have varsity girls swimming and diving on the way. It's St. Cloud Tech versus Alexandria. The Cardinals presently at 1-3 on the year. The St. Cloud Tech Tigers presently at 2-2 on the year. And again, I think we're counting down. I think when I see the clock up on the wall hit 0, we may have some preliminary greetings. One thing I forgot to ask Coach Stohog ahead of time, is his wife Cindy doing the public address announcing tonight? Or?
She's been doing that since I came to town.
Okay.
As far as I've ever known, she's kind of just his his right-hand person that does that up there and just make
Okay.
sure that the announcing is done, and she is very, very good at it and has actually done it down in Morris when we've hosted section meets in Morris before.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, she does a very good job.
Yeah, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, over along the east wall, which is on the opposite end of the pool, at the table, you see a bunch of, I think it's 5 individuals, each with a laptop. Cindy Stohog is the second one to the right. Right now, she's discussing something with somebody else at the table there, and it's always fun to see Cindy be so involved, even though Mark and Cindy's son and daughter long graduated from Alexandria, years ago and everything like that. They've been very dedicated to the sport of swimming and diving. And I think we're going to take a listen in to some of the messages by Cindy Stohog here, and as she shares them with the audience here at Discovery Middle School, and we'll do it on our Leighton Media platforms as well.
Stohog, Brad Johnson, and Christy Norley. Student managers are Addie Newman and Eileen Schultz. Captains for the Cards are Ning Jung, Allison Lowe, Lucy Kiefer, and Cora Baumgartner. Coaches for the Tigers are Jen Draker, Cindy Gustin, and Jack Verbinski. Their captains are Jacqueline Adams, Maggie Cole, Kiara Flores, and Macy Roach. Alexandria will swim into lanes 2, 4, and 6. The Tigers will be in 3, 5, and 7. Lanes 1 and 8 will be exhibition and non-counting team scoring. For all you smartphone users, if you already have or wish to download the Wii mobile app, you can get a free cheat sheet for tonight's contest as well as find out the results for each race and team score. Just enter Alex or Alexandria in the search line. And now it's time for our national anthem. Remember that the protocol with respect to playing the anthem, please stand at attention, facing the flag, removing your hat, and placing your right hand over your heart. At this time, will you please rise and join Dahani Wenzel sing in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That was Dahani Wenzel Singh performing our national anthem before the start of tonight's swim meet at Discovery Middle School. It's Alexandria versus St. Cloud Tech. Our thanks to Carlson Music Center for the presentation of the national anthem during our Leighton Media broadcast tonight. That will do it for the pre-meet show, brought to you by Jockner Motors of Alexandria. Dave Molesworth and my videographer, J.P. Boleen, along with me, Dave McClurg, invite you to stick around. We're back with the opening competition at Discovery Middle School in Alexandria for varsity swimming next.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
I'm a nurse at heart. I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Cardinals fans, did you know that Cenex Midtown Express has a gas pump designated to support Alexandria Public Schools? For each gallon purchased, 2 cents will be donated to the schools. Pump up your pride at Cenex, your local hometown choice in Alexandria and Garfield. Owned by the community, supporting the community. As the seasons change, so do the needs of your car. That's when Alexandria drivers turn to Mike and Josh at Precision Auto. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, trust a pro. Precision Auto on 8th and Nokomis, Alexandria.
Trum Drug has things in every aisle that you won't find anywhere else, and many of them are made right here in Minnesota. Stop in and grab something for yourself, a friend, or family. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service,
but kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
Fresh, family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
From Discovery Middle School in Alexandria, Cardinal Girls Swimming and Diving is on the air as you watch on the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube and the radio coverage as well on 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, and 105.7 FM KXRA. Our first event of the night is in progress right now. It is the Junior Varsity 200 individual medley. DMAC and Dave Molesworth with the broadcast tonight. And little background information, Dave. What are the strokes that end up being used in the medley?
So swimming has 4 strokes. You got butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. That is the IM order, but in the medley relay, you start with the backstrokers in the water. So we first saw our backstrokers, and we'll see that in the varsity. It'll go backstroke, breast, fly, free.
Okay, very good. So right now we've got the swimmers in the JV in the process of wrapping up the competition here. Alexandria had in lane 4 Donnie Wenzel Singh along with Trinity Rant, along with Allison Kagani and Ava Rambo. And then in lane 6 for the Cardinals, Ashley Lubin, Josie Betterman, Ellie Meyer, and Kylie Sagadol. And it looks like Tech's A relay team in lane 5, that was Elise Roenfeld, along with Macy Roche and Anna Laudenbach, and Raya Mickelson ended up getting the first place points there. So now we go to the varsity competition, and Alexandria will actually have competitors in lanes 2, 4, and 6. In lane 2, it will be Alice Novotny, along with Kate Tollefson, Brinkley Schmid, and Kaylin McKibben. In lane 4, Hannah Hoff, Maria Meyer, Cora Baumgartner, and Brinley Ziedhammer. And then in lane 6, Victoria Davidson, Violet Odland, May Denny, and Ning Zhang, one of the captains for Alexandria. St. Cloud Tech in lane 3 has Nevaeh Guggenberger, along with Miriam Davis, Natalia Sandoval, and Kiera Florek. Lane 5 for St. Cloud Tech, Maggie Cole, along with Harper Doom, Anya Gustin, and Alina Gustin. So the backstroke portion of the 200 medley relay underway right now, and St. Cloud Tech getting the early advantage with their competitor, but Alexandria's Hannah Hoff right there. And now the second portion, I believe this is this the butterfly, Dave, that now we're seeing?
So this would be your breaststroke event here.
Breaststroke,
So
okay. And then the
fly
butterfly.
will be next. Yep, fly.
Okay,
and
very
Maggie
good.
Cole is one of the better swimmers for Tech. She's one of that top end that Mark was talking about.
Okay. Yep, and so now the swimmers getting ready to make the turn here as they go into the second part of the second stroke.
Yep, and this will be fun to watch. The butterflyer and freestyle for Tech are pretty talented swimmers, but Cora's going to be right here with that butterfly, and we'll see what she can end up doing here.
Yep, so now the third competitors for each of the teams now into the pool, and that means Cora Bumgarner for the Alexandria Cardinals. And again, she's ready to make the turn there. And now heading, as you're watching on the YouTube channel, she is going right to left with St. Cloud Tech. And I believe that's Anna Gustin. That's very, very close. So the competitors in the middle lanes, it's going to be very interesting to see how they wrap up in the freestyle, as the top team for each is now getting their freestyler in, and St. Cloud Tech really doing well with Alina Gustin. She made the turn at the wall here, and she's going for the finish here. Brindley Zeethammer trying to close ground as well. She's about less than a body length behind. It looks like Alexandria's top relay is going to get a second place finish behind St. Cloud Tech. And
that would be a season best split for Brindley Zeethammer right there. So she was really going for it, but
yeah,
Gustin's a pretty talented freestyler, so that was fun to watch. But it was nice to see our B team move up and take third as well instead of falling out of fourth.
That's right. So the first and fourth place points go to St. Cloud Tech, and the second and third place points go to Alexandria. For the novice such as myself, Dave, when it comes to scoring for the relays, how will the point breakdown be at that point with Alexandria getting the second and third place points?
So relays are normally more points than your individuals. So collegiately, it's very different. USA Swimming is very different than high school. There's 3 different scorings, and they're all just different. But relays are always a little bit more points, and it's fun. I don't know exactly. We'll look here in a minute as to what the total events are going to be, but that'll definitely help keep them in this and keep those scores close, getting that second, third versus second, fourth.
Very good. So one event is in the books, and we're going to take a break as we'll hear from some of our boosters of Cardinal sports programming early on in the competition. Heat number 2, or the second event, straight ahead after this timeout.
For over 30 years, Northland Buildings has been providing quality post-frame buildings to customers, serving clients across the upper Midwest since 1994. Northland Buildings. Quality buildings built tough for the Northland.
Northland Building.
Resorts Marine in Osakis. Check us out for new and used boats, pontoons, UTVs, and golf carts. For the whole outdoors, shop us first, shop us last, just shop us. Resorts Marine and Outdoors in Osakis.
Being locally owned here at the Culvers of Alexandria, Charles Johnson and myself, John Loomis, are very proud to be a part of the community. We enjoy the time we get to spend here, the memories we've made, and we're excited to see you after the game when you need to refuel.
Go Cardinals! First Western provides the best in customer service.
Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us.
The event in progress right now is the 200 freestyle relay. This is one of the varsity-only events, and the Alexandria lineup has Lucy Kiefer in lane 2, Allison Bowe in lane 4, Ava Love in lane 6, and then Lacey Meyer swims exhibition in lane 8. And then for St. Cloud Tech, Natalia Sandoval in lane 3, Alina Gustin in lane 5, and Lillian Bowers in lane 7. So right now the event coming toward the conclusion here, and it looks like The Tigers, Alana Gustin, is getting to the wall as she makes the turn here. And Dave, what are you seeing unfold as we come back to the live action here?
One of the fun things to point out is Elena Gustin was just on the anchor leg of that last relay and then literally stood right back up and went for this 200 freestyle. And so that's kind of cool to see her race back-to-backs. You know, it's one of those things where you see her kind of pushing through, and Alec is just behind her a little bit, but if you look at the times coming into their season times, she is a little bit further ahead of the field. So I was kind of expecting that. 2:19 is where Allison Bowe's been, and it looks like she's going to smash that season best by 2 seconds right there. So
yeah,
really good swim for her.
Yeah, 2:17.46 is, I believe, the time that Allison Bowe put together. And then
and Ava Love is right about a second off of her season best, too. So another good swim there.
Yeah, I think 2:22.48 will be the time for Ava Love. And so the Cardinals get some third-place points. And I believe Alexandria might get the fourth-place points as well from Lucy Kiefer over in lane number 2 as she came in at 2:29.53.
And that'll definitely help because after that relay, Alexandria was only down 2 points after the point breakout there. So really big for them to get second, third on that relay and not second, fourth.
Yes. So was the split in the points 9-7 for Tech after the Medley relay then?
I believe it was 8-6.
8-6.
8-6 was the total after relays.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of that swimming at Meet Mobile is once they push that through, those scores pop up for us. So we'll be able to track that pretty evenly.
Yeah. So the Alexandria Cardinals get the second, third, and fourth place points as Lana Gustin was able to prevail. And now we're about to move into the 200 individual medley. And Alexandria's competitors, Brinkley Schmid in lane 2, Hannah Hoff in lane 4, Cora Baumgartner in lane 6. St. Cloud Tech has Harper Doom in lane 3, Anya Gustin in lane 5, and Miriam Davis in lane 7. Davis, those are watching on our YouTube channel. The lower numbered lanes, are they toward the far end over toward the Alexandria benches? So lane 8 would be closest to us? Or?
So lane 1's going to be closest to us.
Okay.
Lane 8 is actually closest to the scoreboard, or the Eagle's Nest as we call it. So,
sure.
Cardinal Nest, I guess is the right term.
Right. So again, very quick race when you're going the 200 individual medley. Again, that should be wrapping up in just a short time. And right now the splits, Hannah Hoff and Anya Gustin really competing well. So Hannah Hoff should be getting some good points here.
Yeah, and this is Hannah. This is probably Hannah's better event is the backstroke. We're going to come up here in a second on the breaststroke, and that's where we got to kind of watch out for Tech because they could come up on us. And then freestyle's their gamble. They're both really good swimmers there. So
yep. So
now Baumgartner needs to really start pushing up and kind of try to chase up on Gustin a little bit.
Yeah, and right now the two leading competitors in the middle of the pool, Hannah Hoff for Alexandria, Anya Gustin for St. Cloud Tech, working their way through. Tech's wearing the orange-colored swim jerseys. Alexandria has the darker-colored swim jerseys. I think both teams wearing similar colored caps, but St. Cloud Tech with the Tigers logo and Alexandria with the Cardinals logo.
Yeah, and here's Anya pulling away just a little bit. Hannah's going to have to kind of dig deep into that bag because out in lane 7, who do we got coming up over there in 7? Miriam Davis is coming up.
Yeah.
And her brother, just as a fun fact, is Micah Davis, who owns Pool Records here. So, and is a University of Virginia commit as a senior this year.
Excellent.
So kind of fun to see those names and start associating them with people. But Hannah's got to dig in here and really get after it.
Yeah, right now she's behind maybe a body length and a half as Anya Gustin makes the turn at the wall. She's now heading to our left, trying to get the finish. Hannah Hoff will try to close some ground in lane 4 for the Alexandria Cardinals. She is narrowing the gap just a little bit, but it looks like Anya Gustin is going to be the first one to the wall, and she'll get the first place points for the Tech Tigers.
And Hannah did out split Davis just a little bit, but Davis just had a little bit too much of a lead coming out of that breaststroke leg.
Yeah, so it looks like Miriam Davis in lane number 7 is going to get the second place points, so Tech will go 1-2 in that event, and Alexandria goes 3, 4, and 5 as Brinkley Schmid over in lane number 2 ended up in 5th place. Hannah Hoff's time, by the way, 2:32.52, and the winning time provided by Anya Gustin, 2:30 and 14 hundredths of a second. So,
and that's about a second off of her season best right now for Hannah Hoff. So really, really a good swim, but you'd like to see her push up just a little bit more in that breaststroke and keep up with Anya a little better. But that's the challenge when you're swimming all 4 strokes in a 200 like that.
Yeah, so now we're going to have, I believe, some junior varsity competition with the 50 freestyle. Now here we'll have a couple of heats in the JV, and then we'll have one varsity heat for the 50 freestyle, which is the 4th event on the schedule. So St. Cloud Tech and Alexandria competing in girls swimming and diving. We appreciate you joining us for the live coverage tonight. KXRA Radio and also the live video stream on the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. The 3 in the pool right now, Donnie Wenzel-Singh in lane number 2, Maddie Mole in lane 4, Kylie Sagadol in lane 6. St. Cloud Tech, I believe, has one competitor that is going in the JV heat here in lane number 5, I believe it is. So,
yes.
So right now, that individual, I'm not sure which one got placed for Tech in the JV heat here, but she has gone off and is the one to touch the wall first. So I think it will end up being Maddie Mole getting the second place honors. Then Kylie Sagadol 3rd, and Donnie Wenzel-Singh in 4th place. So that's for this heat of the junior varsity. We'll also have another JV 50 freestyle heat. And Alexandria is going to have here competing. Bailey Wall will be in lane 2, Kaylin McKibben in lane 4, and then Josie Betterman in lane 6. Ava Rambo will swim exhibition in lane 8. St. Cloud Tech scheduled to have Elsa Ronfelt in lane 5 and Mila Werdish in lane 7. So, right now, pretty strong start for all of the athletes. Bailey Wall doing some nice work in lane number 2. She might be the first one to make the turn here. And now
Alexandria is 1, 2, 3 at the turn, so it's nice. See if they can hold on to that.
Yeah, and looks like Bailey Wall still maintaining a decent margin. In fact, the 2nd and 3rd place swimmers are definitely holding their own for Alexandria. So it looks like going to be some good news there, as Bailey Wall will be the first one to touch the wall, no pun intended, as she goes, I believe, 33:37 for that time there. And that's the second portion of the 50 free in the JV heat. And now we're going to have the varsity 50 freestyle coming up. And here I think we'll have 3 competitors for the Tigers and 4 for Alexandria, though Maria Meyer in lane 8 will be swimming exhibition here. So 6 groups of points up for grabs. St. Cloud Tech will have Kayliana Ment in lane 3. Alana Gustin in lane 5 and Nevaeh Guggenberger in lane 7. The Cardinals will counter with Allison Kagani in lane 2, Brinley Ziedhammer in lane 4, and Ning Zhang in lane 6. And the swimmers awaiting their opportunity to get into the pool here for the varsity 50 freestyle.
Looks like there's a little confusion as to who should be in lane 8 right now.
Oh, I see.
So they're making sure they've got everybody back there ready to go.
Right. Okay, so the momentary delay here, and we should be set to have the varsity 50 freestyle coming up. Again, we appreciate all of the boosters of our Alexandria Cardinal sports programming, bringing you our live girls swimming and diving coverage With the advent of video streaming, which we introduced last school year, that means we have the privilege of broadcasting one boys swimming and diving meet in the winter, one gymnastics meet in the winter, and one girls swimming and diving meet in the fall. And it happens to be the Cardinals homecoming duel tonight versus St. Cloud Tech that is getting the airplay on our latent media platforms, including KXRA Radio and also through the live stream on our YouTube channel. Those platforms tomorrow night will have the broadcast of the Alexandria Cardinal football homecoming game with Elk River in a 7 o'clock start. And it looks like we're ready to go for the 50 varsity freestyle event here. And the swimmers are into the pool, and pretty good start here for the Alexandria Cardinals. It looks like Brindley Ziethammer and Ning Zhang trying to get to the wall, and St. Cloud Tech also has, I believe, Alina Gustin in
Alina
lane
and
5.
Brindley saw each other in that medley relay.
Yeah.
Kind of the same result. Alina's pulling away just that little bit.
Yeah, looks like Gustin's going to get the first place points, but
there we go in second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Wow, so Alexandria quite impressive there, getting the
second,
points.
third, and fourth place for Alexandria on that one.
All right, so good points there for the Alexandria Cardinals. Brindley Ziethammer in second place, Ning Zhang the third place points, and also Allison Kagany the fourth place points for the Alexandria Cardinals, and that's where we stand. So we're going to take a break here, and then we'll be back with diving competition as you listen to Alexandria Cardinal girls swimming and diving broadcast coverage on KXRA Radio, and you're watching it on the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube.
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for people who have experience and are willing to work hard. For those that do, you can earn up to 6 figures working for my company. Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Why do I bank at First Western? Easy. They take care of their customers.
First Western. You can bank on us.
Yeah, so relays are 8-4-2-0. And then
action here at Discovery Middle School in Alexandria. It's Dave Molesworth and yours truly, DMAC Dave McClurg. And we've got Jackson as our KXRA studio engineer doing the radio broadcast tonight, and JP Bolin is our videographer here for the competition, as Alexandria and St. Cloud Tech have completed 4 events of the night. And now we'll move into the diving portion. And Dave, I know that this part usually involves, you have to take some of the lane guides, I think, shifting them around. And I know that diving boards or diving wells are different pool to pool. When you're coaching the UMM Cougars, is that also a scenario that, the venues may have their own diving well and some do not?
They do, and it's very, very common to see, like here in Alexandria, you see those diving boards right over some of the lane lines. So you can see that lane between 1 and 2, that lane guard has been moved over. You come down to Morris, we actually have a separate diving well down there, so we can dive without having to change any format of the building. But then, we go over to like St. John's, and their diving boards are over the pool as well. So
okay.
It really does depend on the facility and how it was built and put together.
Now, we've got several athletes that will be competing in the junior varsity diving event. I think the Cardinals and the Tigers will each have one diving exhibition, and then we'll have several divers that are in the varsity competition. For regular season events, will the athletes each have a total of 6 dives that they do, or?
So that depends on the meet as well. So in most dual meets, you're going to see a 6-dive list. You got to have one from each category. And then in high school, they actually do every week is a different category. And I'm not sure what week that is. We'll see once they get started here. But then what happens is they have to do that category first, and then they've got their other 5 dives. When they come to big invites like the one they're going to this weekend up in Moorhead, up at Fargo, that's an 11 dive list. So then they have 3 from one category and 2 from the other 4 categories to make up your 11 dives.
Okay.
So it really does depend on the event and where you're at.
And I noticed with the brand new scoreboard that they have here at Discovery Middle School, it looks like there's actually a description of what the athletes are required to do. When Coach Stohog and I did the boys swimming and diving meetup at Brainerd back in January, I think their electronic message board also had the same thing. And I think for fans, that's really useful information to have.
It is. You know, when we take that for granted as coaches, because you tell me 5222, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
But you tell a parent or somebody who doesn't follow diving what that means, and it's really interesting to see how kind of everybody starts to figure that out. So each number has its own meaning behind it, and that's kind of fun. We can go through some of that as diving gets started here.
And I being that we haven't had the official diving competition begin as of yet, as I look at this new scoreboard here, DD, I see a number of 1.8. Does that stand for a degree of difficulty with the dive? Or?
It does, and that's exactly what we're looking for. And, you know, it varies from dive to dive, but most of these you're going to see kind of around that 1.6, 1.8, or 1.8, 2.0, something like that. As you get more and more into the kind of the bigger end of the season where kids have done their bigger dives and stuff like that, then you'll start seeing those high 2.0 dives. Once in a while, you'll even see a 3.0 dive here and there, and those are big dives.
Very good. So I think all of the competitors in diving get the opportunity to do a few warm-ups. I think they actually did that, I think some of them, when they arrived at the pool here before official warm-ups got underway. But are there some restrictions, to your knowledge, Dave, that they can take a certain number of practice dives, or can they practice until time runs out and it's time for the competition?
So normally you'll get all that stuff done before the warm up ends in the swimming session, and then normally you'll get one approach. You can do a dry approach and then one water entry, but you can only leave that board. Normally I've seen only once at the high school level. Collegiately, the same idea.
Okay.
Normally at big meets you get one approach, one takeoff, one entry, and that's kind of what you're looking for there, is to get that one that just gives you that feel of, okay, here we go, we're ready to start.
Very good. So we should be commencing with the diving competition coming up, the fifth event on the schedule. They were playing Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline here, and I think all of the swimmers for Alexandria and some of the Cardinal fans down below us have brought their cell phones out to shine the light, if you will. So
a little different than the lighters back in the day.
Right, yeah. You're probably familiar with the term flick your bick.
Yep,
I mean,
I sure am.
We don't do that anymore because we've got the convenience of the cell phone and everything. So still straight ahead, we should be getting ready with our diving competition. Again, I think St. Cloud Tech will actually have 3 competitors that will be diving JV. Alexandria will have Vivian Meyer as exhibition in the JV. And then Elena Luning will be the exhibition diver for Tech in the junior varsity. And then the 3 that will compete officially in JV for St. Cloud Tech will include Elizabeth Lindell, Malia Floric, and Sophia Lucky. And then when we get to the varsity diving competition, each team will have 3 divers. The Cardinals will have Trinity Rant along with Abby Haig and Ellie Meyer. The varsity competitors in diving for the St. Cloud Tech Tigers will include Brenna Gruber, Kiara Floric, and Jacqueline Adams. So still some warming up going on. As you watch on our YouTube channel, the Tech divers are the ones that are getting onto the diving board right now. The Tech athletes are wearing their orange uniforms tonight. The Alexandria Cardinals have the primarily black uniforms that they are wearing. School colors at St. Cloud Tech are orange and black, and the school colors in Alexandria are red and black. So right now it's St. Cloud Tech having the opportunity to continue practice diving here.
Yeah, and you'll see that a lot. They're not as used to this board as the Alec divers are. And the board has a different feel than your home board. So every board feels a little different, has a little different flex to it just because of how used they are. So you'll see visitors on a little bit more just to really try to get that familiarity with it before they start.
Now, we might have some people viewing, and they're looking at the diving board that's going to be used for the competition. And then there's another diving board from our angle farther away, and that is elevated right now. Are there competitions where 2 diving boards can be used during an event? Or?
Yes. So like when they host sections here, you can choose which board you want to use. That just allows people, you get more warm-ups, you kind of get through dives quicker because you've got 2 boards running at one time. So it does benefit when you're doing big meets like that. In dual meets like this, really not much of a benefit because there's not a ton of divers. But then you got to move even another lane line out of the way in order to do that. So they just kind of normally stick to that one closest to the bleachers, but they open it up for sections when they host here.
Very good. Now this year, Alexandria is competing in Class AA Section 8. That's also the case for the Alexandria boys swimming and diving team in the winter. And I know that during the fall season here, Brainerd High School is the site for the Section 8 AA swimming and diving championships. Those will be coming up later on as we get flipping the calendar over from October to November. Usually section diving and swimming competition is held right around the start of November. So still have yet to commence with our JV diving competition. And we are awaiting the 5th event. Once diving wraps up, then we will do our mid-match or mid-meet report. We normally have a mid-game report brought to you by Eldon's Fresh Foods in Alexandria. Well, for our swimming and diving competition, it is a mid-meet report. And that takes place after diving wraps up. So that will be a few minutes down the line here on the Leighton Media platforms, including KXRA Radio and also the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube. As we should be commencing with the junior varsity diving competition. And then we'll have several swimming events to round out the night here at Discovery Middle School. I would anticipate that if everything is moving on schedule, the last of the competition should be going off sometime around 7:45, give or take a few minutes. So
it always depends on how fast they swim.
Right.
You get stuck in some of those where they got 3 heats of things, and it takes a long time to get these meets over with. But yeah, it looks like we'll be cruising right along once we actually get started here, as soon as they get diving ready to go.
So I believe as I'm calculating the score right now in terms of the varsity team totals, I believe it, and Dave, if I'm incorrect on this, feel free to jump in. I was just doing the place calculations. St. Cloud Tech 32, Alexandria 30.
Correct.
Okay.
That's exactly what we're looking on.
Ah, okay.
Yep. Right on. You got this down. We're good.
Thank you for giving me the notes on the scoring breakdown. I think I need to do more swimming and diving competitions during and they will accumulate during the course of time, but I'll become more familiar, knowing those numbers by heart and everything. Like when you get a 5th place finish in an individual event, what's that worth?
Yep.
And what's the 1st place finish worth and everything.
Yeah, and with this Meet Mobile app that swimming has out right now, it is so simple to just click team scores and it just pops up. Like the math I do is all time-based. I don't do any calculations with scores anymore because it's just up pretty instantly. So really convenient that way.
Okay, very good. So at this point, entering the 5th competition of the night, which is the diving event, St. Cloud Tech has 32 points and Alexandria has 30. And really, it's been some pretty good balance. I think St. Cloud Tech in the individual medley ended up getting 10 points to Alexandria 6. But in the first relay of the night, the 200 medley relay, Tech went 8-6 versus Alexandria there, and the Cardinals have had a couple of 9-7 advantages. So good to see some fun competition tonight here at Discovery Middle School. And I believe our first Tech diver is up on the board here. And I believe it says back 1, somersault 1, twist F. Is
Free
that
position.
Okay.
free position that allows them to move through positions to get that twisting done.
Okay. All right. So I believe the scores for the first diver, 4.5, 3.5, and 3. So 19.8 on that first dive. So now I believe we're going to have Vivian Meyer diving next. I believe it was Elena Luning that did the first dive. So now it'll be the Cardinals, Vivian Meyer again. Both of these first two divers, as you watch on YouTube, in exhibition. So now Vivian Meyer approaching the front of the board, does a twist and enters the water there. And so it looks like her total points being awarded will be 15.3.
And you see just that little bit of difference because you see the kind of loose body and loose leg positions. So
Okay.
those scores are just that little bit lower. So
Yeah. So I believe this will be Elizabeth Lindell, the sophomore for St. Cloud Tech. Her first dive in the JV and did a twist and entered the water. Looked like she was fairly, her legs were, fairly close together. We'll see what that accounts for a score.
Yep. And she did just a half a twist where the others did a full twist.
Okay.
But she over-rotated that and kind of was a little bit far on that twist, so that might hurt her score, and it does.
Yeah. Yep, it looks like 12.75 will be her score. Now I believe it's Sophia Lucky that will be going up to the board here to dive for the Tigers. And she is in. And Dave, what were you able to see out of her dive here?
One of those things, we're looking for a lot of things as it goes off, so it's really confusing. But we're looking for that takeoff. Then we're looking for the height in the air. Then we're looking for the dive and making sure they're doing the right dive. And then the entry comes into it. So it's a lot of pieces that you're looking at all in less than half a second before they hit that water.
And Sophia Lucky, a pretty respectable score of 24.3. So now it's Malia Floric. And she entered the water with a front dive, if you will.
Yep. So she did a back dive half twist going into her front, into those hands. So
okay. And I believe her score will be 17.1. And now I think it's going to be a Trinity Rant for Alexandria. So this is a varsity dive here for the Cardinals. And she enters the water pretty smooth there.
Entry looked good. She could have used a little more top on that, but that's why you see a little bit better scores, is the dive moved fairly easily and went in nice and clean.
Her total will be 23.8 in the first dive. Now I believe it's Brenda Gruber up to the board. Now she did a hop and then entered the water there for the St. Cloud Tech Tigers. And her score will be 26.35.
So anything coming out of a front approach going forward is going to be a front movement. Anything going forward, coming backwards is going to be a reverse movement. So this is a forward somersault.
Yep, and I believe that's Abby Haig entering the water there for Alexandria. And pretty good numbers there. That drew nice applause there from some of the fans. Score ends up being 21.25. So now it's Kiera Floric that will be up on the board for St. Cloud Tech as the teams alternate their divers. And she went with a little bit of a twist and then entered front.
Yep. And she kind of had a little bit of wobble to the side just a little bit and kept those scores kind of that average 5.
Yeah. I think 28.8 will be her total.
And this is actually Abby right here.
Okay. So. Yeah, so we must have had Ellie Meyer the previous one. So Abby Haig going now. And she got some really good numbers there on her first dive. 27.9 will be the total. So again, when we're seeing these scores, like for each individual dive, they will accumulate. So with
for
5 more
rounds,
dives, yeah,
correct, yep.
Okay. Now back we go into the exhibition here. I believe this is Eliana, or I'm sorry, this is Jacqueline Adams' varsity dive here.
Yeah, I think that was the wrap-up of varsity. Now we're back into the JV.
Yeah.
I wish they'd put them in order for us.
Right. Yep, now we go back to the junior varsity, and that would be Eliana Looning. Again a 19.8 for her total.
So see, the 101, that would be a forward dive movement.
Okay.
2-0 something is going to be a back movement.
I see.
3 will be a reverse, and 4 would be an inward dive.
Yeah. So Vivian Meyer with her dive here. She's going with a back dive straight and enters the water there.
And see, on a straight, you'd want to see just a little bit stiffer body position, but that comes from that jump was just a little bit lower than she probably wanted it to be.
Yeah. And I think her total will be 15.3. And now the next diver for St. Cloud Tech in, and that will be a
back somersault 1.5 twist for you on that one.
12.75 for the score there. I think Sophia Lucky now coming up. Her first dive pretty strong, 24.3. She'll try a back dive tuck here. And she did the tuck and then came out of it pretty fast, and we're waiting to see what the numbers, 23.25 will be the score there. I believe we'll see Malia Floric up here, and
she had a decent takeoff, but rolled through that early, and those legs kind of just fell over the top of her. So
yeah. So 16.1 there. So now we go back to Trinity Rant for the varsity portion of the diving. And she goes with a back dive straight, and we'll see what her score, 20.4, so that brings her total through 2 dives up to 44.2. Now I believe it's Brenna Gruber with her second dive here of 6. A forward 2 somersault tuck, and then got some pretty nice scores there.
Little over average, had a nice top, real good spin, and came out of that on a good note.
Yeah, 41.8, so Brenna Gruber with 2 dives has 68 plus points. Now I think it's Ellie Meyer up here. Forward 1, somersault twist free.
And just a little forward movement, so she was rolling into that entry a little bit.
Yeah.
21.85 for the dive total, 43.10 for 2.
Okay. And now we'll see Kiara Floric go next for St. Cloud Tech. Again, this is the second dive of 6. Forward 2 somersault pike. And that was pretty tight and entered the water there. I think she got some pretty respectable scores there. 43.7, so she's now at 72.5. So Tech really doing well. Now we'll see Abby Haig up here. And she went with the back 1.5 somersault and a half twist. And
a lot of movement in and out of that tuck position coming out and everything. Just a little late on that to get to that entry in time. And I believe they just said this was Brenna here.
Okay.
Back 1.5 somersault.
Yeah.
Like.
All right. And she enters the water here.
Pretty good movement. A little bit of twist on the entry is going to
Yeah.
keep that score low, but this started out really well. And that's the challenge, is it can start really well and end not as good as you want it to. And that's the challenge for divers.
Yeah. So we're now through 2 rounds of diving. Again, 4 more rounds to go, and back we go to the junior varsity with Eliana Looning for St. Cloud Tech. She enters, try to back one somersault pike, and her score will be 21.6. So halfway through diving, she's at 54.6. And now I think it's Vivian Meyer swimming or diving in exhibition for the Alexandria Cardinals here. Going with the back one somersault tuck, and she enters the water and gets good applause from the Cardinal faithful here. 15.75 will be her total, so 46.35. Now I believe it's Malia Floric that will come up here for St. Cloud Tech. Again, this is part of the JV diving competition. She enters with a back dive tuck for her third dive of the night. And she'll get 26.25, so her total just shy of 77 points through 3 dives. Now I believe it's Sophia Lucky for the Tigers. And she's in with a back one somersault tuck, and
a little bit further from the board than she wanted to be.
Yeah.
For a really dive that was nice and tight, just back just that little bit.
Yeah, so 24 points for her to put her north of 71. I believe this will be Elizabeth Lindell for St. Cloud Tech. And she's in with a forward 1.5 somersault tuck. And her point total will be 24, so she's up to 57. Now back to the varsity diving portion of the event here. This will be an inward dive tuck for the Alexandria Cardinals freshman Tiffany Rand. On the board, enters the water. Looked like she might have been coming in at a little bit of an angle, but
yeah, we just call that over rotating the entry as she rolls through that. So
yeah,
21.7 points on that.
Yeah, so she's at 65.9.
No, I think this is Jacqueline here.
Okay, Jacqueline Adams. Yes, coming
left
in.
that board a little early, and you can hear that from that board bouncing afterwards.
Right. Let's see if that affects the score. And her numbers for the third dive are going to be 31.5. So pretty respectable, though, up to 89.5.
Yeah, if she would have rolled that board a little longer, you'd have seen those scores go up because she would have been in the air a little better.
Yeah. Now I think Ellie Meyer will do the forward dive pike here, and she is in. Now, her entry into the water was a little bit further off the board. Is that by design there?
No,
Dave?
so that's just basically when she came down, she was leaning forward, and that board kind of pushed her out just that little bit. So that will take away from the scores. You don't want to be at the board, but you want to be a safe distance from it.
Yeah. So 15.7, I believe, her total there. Mm-hmm. And now I think it's Kiara Floric. And she goes in with a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck and enters the water, and I think her total will be 29.4 to bring her total to 101.9.
Yep. And again, just that little bit low, so she didn't have time to really come out of that and push into that straight alignment.
For the Cardinals, junior Abby Haig now, it's an inward dive pike off the board. And pretty good bounce off the board into the water. It looked to be a pretty clean dive there.
Yeah, pretty nice dive. A
Yeah.
little bit higher, I think points might have gone up, just showing a little bit more power out of the board, but really good on the pike and then ending that line on the entry.
Yep, and I believe Abby Haig now north of 85 points. And it's Brenna Gruber here with the reverse dive tuck. And she enters the water here, and her score will end up being 30.4, so she's at 96 points even, one halfway through the 6 dives.
And that varsity, there's a couple tight races going on right now, so that'll be interesting to see how they play out over the next couple dives.
So now the fourth dive in the JV competition. I believe this will be Eliana Looning on the board again. She and the Cardinals' Vivian Meyer in junior varsity are diving exhibition here.
So I think what they're doing right now, those exhibition kids, I believe, only have 3 dives. So they will be dropped at round 3 this week. So we'll have to listen to who this is.
Yeah, so we probably have just 3 tech divers from this point forward.
I believe so.
Yep.
And that normally exhibition, they allow them to do a few of the dives they know, but then they don't allow them to keep going.
Oh, I see. So they don't get to do the full 6.
Correct.
Okay.
And some of those divers might not have a full 6 yet.
Yeah.
But it still gives them a chance to be a part of
it
and compete.
Yeah. Say, while we've got an opportunity, let's remind you that you are listening to People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM. We have audio through the Voice of Alexandria app, powered by Mission Mechanical Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching our swimming and diving coverage tonight on the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube. Our thanks to Integrity Title of Alexandria for being our signature streaming sponsor of our video streaming of Alexandria Cardinal activities all throughout the 2025-26 school year. Jackson is our KXRA radio studio engineer. We have J.P. Bolin as our videographer on location from the Discovery Middle School pool in Alexandria. And along with Dave Molesworth, I am DMAC. Dave McClurg, happy to have you along for the coverage tonight. We've had 4 swimming events completed so far in the CLC duel, and we are in the midst of diving right now. And now I believe we'll have Elizabeth Lindell in JV with her 4th dive. She did an inward dive pike and then entered the water in pretty tight to the board. And now her score through 4 dives, 97.95. Sophia Lucky, the freshman, now up on the diving board for the Tigers with a forward 1.5 somersault and pike. And did the somersault, entered the water, and got some decent numbers there for her 4th dive of the night, 27.2, and that brings her total to 98.75. I believe this will be Malia Floric up on the board for St. Cloud Tech. Her 4th dive is in. It's a back dive tuck. Not really a lot of altitude off the board, but she did get some decent numbers there. 21 points, so her total now 76.2. And now we go to the varsity portion of the diving, second half of diving here. I believe this is Tiffany Rant up on the board. And she does a forward dive pike, entering the water there. Pretty clean.
Would have liked to have seen that pike a little tighter, would have upped those scores a little bit, but 19.5 on the dive.
Yep. So 99.65 is her score. And I think this may be Jacqueline Adams up now for St. Cloud Tech.
Yep.
Her 4th dive of 6. This will be an inward 1.5 somersault tuck, and she kept it pretty tight.
Yep.
I would think one of her better dives of the night.
Yeah, best dive of the night with a score of 7 on a couple of those judges.
Yeah,
so,
45.1. Yes, 2 7s and a 6.5. So she's up to 144.75. And now I believe it'll be freshman Ellie Meyer up on the board for the Alexandria Cardinals. Her 4th dive of the night, forward 1.5 somersault tuck. She was able to get the tuck in. Seemed like, Dave, she got a little far from the board.
Yeah, she came down on that end, was leaning forward, kind of just didn't wait for that board, drove herself out over the water, and that kept those scores really low, so only 18 points on that dive.
Yep, 77.1 is now her running total. Now we've got Kiara Floric up on the board for the Tigers. This will be a back 1.5 somersault pike. She got elevated there and entered the water, and pretty good work on her part there. 31.05. So through 4 dives, she's at 132.95.
A little wash on that entry. You can see those legs go whipping over a little bit. Didn't kind of control that entry the way she really wanted it to. But
and here's junior Abby Haig now up on the diving board for the Cardinals. She'll try a back dive pike and got into the water there. Yeah.
Up in the air, a little bit back, and that'll kind of cap those scores a little bit, but pretty decent scores out of that at 28-0.
Yeah, so 113.65 is her total through 4 dives. And I think we've got Brenna Gruber now up on the board for St. Cloud Tech. Forward 2, somersaults pike. That looked to be quite high off the board and pretty good entry there. I wonder if the scores might be favorable for Brenna Gruber here.
Yeah, she got good scores out of that. It was a little bit short on that entry just because the legs opened early, but 37.95 on that dive. So,
and that brings her to 133.95. Back we go to the JV. Elizabeth Lindell in and tried a reverse dive tuck on her 5th of 6 dives. 24 points there for 121.95. Sophia Lucky now with her 5th of 6 dives. Right now she's just shy of 100 points total. And she does the forward 1 somersault half twist free. Again, I'm able to read this off the scoreboard here, so thank goodness for this new electronic message board and scoreboard. Sophia Lucky about 22.95, so now it's, I believe, Malia Florek who will get on the board here for the Tigers. She'll try a back 1 somersault tuck here. Kept it in, but then kind of opened up before she was entering the water there.
Yep. Came out a little bit early, and that just caused her to be at that angle on the entry there. So
yep, so 20.25 brings her total to 98.45. Trinity Rant now with her 5th dive as we move back into the varsity competition here in event number 5 of the night, the diving. And Trinity Rant goes with a forward 1.5 somersault tuck. Was able to do that somersault and enter the water there. Her point total will be 21.6, and that brings her to 107 even. And now we're going to have Jacqueline Adams coming up for St. Cloud Tech. Her 5th dive of the night. This will be a back 1.5 somersault tuck. So she's got the back facing our camera now on our YouTube channel. Got tight with the tuck there and then entered the water. And her scores will be compiled to 29, so 173.75.
And really a good up out of the board, but just kind of kicked back over the board instead of more up toward the ceiling, and that just left those legs short.
So now I believe it'll be Alexandria's Ellie Meyer having her 5th dive of 6. So I think Ellie getting some words of good wishes from her teammates down by the diving well. Now, this will be a back 1 somersault tuck for dive number 5. She's in and enters the water almost a little bit, almost at an angle, but she did approach and gets a diving score of 18, so 95.1 the total now. Now Kiara Florek with her 5th dive of the night. Again, we have 6 rounds of diving here at Discovery. Kiara Florek with a back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist free. And she was pretty tight to the board as she entered the water there.
Pretty good dive. Legs came across each other a little bit, and that'll limit a score, but 40.25, not a bad score for that dive.
Right. So now it'll be Abby Haig for Alexandria on the board. She'll try a forward 2 somersault tuck. Gets to the front of the board here. Now it does that tuck and enters the water. And
that's one I wish she had back and go a little more vertical. She'd have a little more time to come out of that dive. 30.8 on the dive, though.
Yep, so 144.45 is her score. And now it's Brenna Gruber's 5th dive. She'll go with an inward 1.5 somersault tuck. And she kept it tight, worked her way into the water, and That looked to be pretty solid there.
That was a real good start, really good spin on that dive, and then she just held on a little too long.
Yep, 28.6, so 162.55 now the accumulative score. Now we go back to the last of the JV dives, and this will be Elizabeth Lindell on the board. Forward 1.5 somersault tuck, and she enters the water. Dave, she doesn't take a lot of time up on the board. She's ready to go.
Some divers are just like that. They set and they're ready to go.
Yeah. So 25.6, and that brings her cumulative total to 147.55, I should say. Now the last dive for Sophia Lucky in junior varsity. This will be an inward dive pike, 1.5 degree difficulty. And pretty clean bounce off the board there and entered. That's going to give her points of 24, so 145.7.
Yeah, she had a really nice tight pike on that, but just didn't go up much off the board for that takeoff that we look for when we're judging.
So now we'll have the final JV diver for St. Cloud Tech, and this will be Malia Florek. Forward 1.5 somersault, half twist free, and goes into the water, and her final dive will be worthy of some points here, and we'll see what gives her the final score. And she'll end up at 111.2.
Just a little loose and didn't have a lot of bounce and just kind of spun through as quick as she could. And that kind of just doesn't show the control those judges are looking for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Trinity Rant, the freshman for Alexandria, with her last dive. Forward 1 somersault, half twist free, and she gets into the water, and David, almost looked like her legs were starting to separate a little bit.
They came around a little loose and then came up behind her a little bit. So only 14.45, but 121 on the score. So.
Yep, and now we'll see Jacqueline Adams up on the board for the Tech Tigers. A back 1 somersault, half twist free for her final dive. 2.3 degree difficulty. Pretty good twist, and she gets into the water. I think she's looking to push her score a little bit closer to the 200 mark here.
Yeah, and that's going to be one where she rotated way too far on that, and that's going to be a 0 dive for her, unfortunately.
Okay.
But up in the air real well, just held onto that twist way too long.
Yep, so 173.75 will be her score. And now the Cardinals' Ellie Meyer up on the board. Her dive will be an inward dive tuck here. So she now puts her heels at the edge of the board here. Her back facing us as we watch for her final dive. And pretty good work off the board. Entered the water cleanly, and her final numbers will be 18.2, so that will be 113.3 for the Cardinals' Ellie Meyer. And now it's going to be Kira Florek for St. Cloud Tech. Her final dive inward, 1.5 somersault tuck.
And that's what you're looking for, that nice top, that good spin, and then she hit that entry really nice.
Yeah, that looked to be a solid dive there for Kira Florek. Nice way for her to wrap up her diving.
So far, best dive of the night right there with a 47.3 on the dive, 220.5 on the total for the night for her.
So at the moment, that puts her in the lead. So she's going to get some team points for Tech. Abby Haig now with her last dive, a reverse dive tuck, and she was able to enter the water pretty cleanly there.
Good dive, just pushed out a little bit. Yeah. That was hard to control that entry that way in general, but we'll see where she ends up here.
So 28 points gives her a total of 172.45.
And that's going to be her season top point total right there. So good night for her, but definitely some things she could work on and know she needs to do better.
So the final dive now for Brenna Gruber, a back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist free.
Nice dive up and spun around and really had a good entry on that. That'll be awarded well.
Yep, we'll see what the point total. She did get a 7 on that.
So 43.7 on the total and a 206 total for the night. So some good diving. Definitely things, you're in season. You're working on those things all the time and little bits and pieces to fix and make better, but some good diving to watch.
Yeah, so in essence, what it shows on the scores here, if my calculations are correct, the Tigers were able to roar there, no pun intended. 1, 2, and 3 for the points, even with Jacqueline Adams getting a 0 on her final dive. Her first 5 dives accumulated 173.75. And then Abby Haig, fourth place with a 172.95. And then Ellie Meyer and Trinity Rant. Trinity Rant goes fifth, and Ellie Meyer sixth. So we're going to move into our mid-meet report, brought to you by Eldon's Fresh Foods momentarily. Stay close for more live Alexandria girls swimming and diving coverage after a few words from our boosters of Alexandria Cardinals sports programming.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Good service, good friends, and a great place to eat.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CIRAC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. Most of my crew has been here for decades.
The reason I've been here for so long is I love the variety and I love the different tasks throughout the day. A chance to operate many different pieces of equipment in any day.
Working here, I definitely like working with the crew. The guys are involved in training you and definitely help developing you as a person.
If I was looking for a place of employment, I would definitely apply here.
Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and I want to talk to you about your next career with us.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
There is a man, an insurance man, located in the birthplace of America, where he is committed to helping you find the best coverage for your needs.
Welcome. I'm Keith. When you think of insurance, think of Bill Marks, where we do the shopping for you.
Ford, Lincoln, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, Jeep. Make it Jetner Motors your best price dealer. Make it Jetner Motors your best price dealer.
From your first home to a growing family, life keeps moving. Hi, I'm Sarah Iverson with State Farm Insurance. Every change means something new to protect. Let's start a conversation today about your peace of mind. Because like a good neighbor, Sarah Iverson will be there.
With our mid-meet report brought to you by Eldon's Fresh Foods in Alexandria. The remainder of the swimming events are on the way in a little bit. Dave Molesworth and yours truly, DMAC Dave McClurg, and JP Bolin is our videographer. And Dave, in terms of the 4 swimming competitions that we've seen, quite competitive, but Tech was able to get a little separation, and this is credit to the Tigers divers. They really performed well on the diving board because now the lead's out to 12 points.
They did, and they had a couple divers that had those fundamentals. They're up in the air, they're doing well, and then they're hitting those entries. And when you're judging that, you're looking at ranges. So if you would say it's a good dive, there's a range of points you want to be giving. So when you start looking at that, that's a very good dive, then that range goes up. And they had some dives that were in that very good range, as we saw from those 7s. But that's something that the Alec divers just need to work on, is being consistent with those takeoffs and entries.
Meanwhile, for the Alexandria swimmers that have competed so far, again, the Cardinals have been able to, get their share of points. I think they've gone 9-7 in a couple of events, and I would think that's an encouraging sign. Maybe you're not getting the win. I know Tech has the Gustin. I don't know if they're sisters or not.
They're twins, actually.
Okay, yep. Anya and Alina, and they've been collecting points for St. Cloud Tech, but it seems like Alexandria has been able to offset some of those scores by the Gustin kids.
Yep, and Tech, like we said again at the start, Tech's got some really, really top-end good swimmers. And so we're going to have to sneak in and kind of take those second, thirds and not fall out of that third place into the fourth, and that's where they're holding on really nice.
Very good.
Sometimes it's not always the person who wins the most. It's the people that accumulate those middle scores too.
Yeah. I know as we were coming back to live action here, we'll give a shout out here to Mark and Cindy Stohog's son, Brian. Brian works in the Alexandria community now, and he brought his pooches in. And I tell you, he was bringing the dogs across across the pool and everything like that. I think that was an instant hit with the Tech kids.
It's a hit with all the kids. Down in Morris, I take my dog in a lot. And that's one of the best things. They don't want to see Coach. They want to go see the dog, and that's just part of it.
Yeah.
And really exciting. Brian actually coached club for me for a while after swimming here and just got engaged too. So congratulations to Brian and the family on that, because that's exciting news for them.
Very good. And we are in the intermission right now, brought to you by Eldon's Fresh Foods in Alexandria. When the swimming resumes momentarily, St. Cloud Tech has a lead of 12 at 45-33. Again, our thanks to Eldon's Fresh Foods for presenting our mid-meet report. We're going to take a timeout, and then we'll return with more from Discovery Middle School in Alexandria after a few words from our boosters of Alexandria Cardinals sports programming.
Casa Jalisco. Take a trip south of the border to a place where you can savor the flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine. Casa Jalisco offers a true taste of Mexico without the airfare. Casa Jalisco, your Mexican getaway in downtown Alexandria.
Enjoy life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. Agard. We build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted Best Real Estate Company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
CM Woodworks produces high-quality cabinetry and furniture locally, right here in Nelson. See their showroom at 7300 39th Avenue Northeast in Nelson. CM Woodworks. Custom wood creations. Designed for beauty, built for life.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new unused equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best. Piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
The Tradesman Construction has built a rich history as being the premier, most referred, full-service general contractor in the area. They are a proud supporter of all Alexandria Cardinal teams. Find them online at tradesmanconstruction.com.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drug's app, RX Local. Download the app, choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
Well, it was real nice to have Brian Stohog bring the canines up to the top of the bleachers here at Discovery Middle School to get to introduce his dogs. So
yeah, that's swimming royalty in this town. The Stohog family's been around swimming for a really long time.
Yeah. Every year that Discovery Middle School has had a pool open, Mark and Cindy Stohog have been involved in one way or another. So we're going to move on to the 100-yard butterfly, and this is a varsity-only event. So Alexandria has 3 swimmers: Victoria Davidson in lane 2, Cora Bumgarner in lane 4, and sophomore May Denny in lane 6. Bumgarner, one of the team captains for Alexandria. And then Anna Laudenbach in lane 3, and Anya Gustin in lane number 5. And it looks like Anya Gustin is kind of leading the pace as we get halfway through.
And coach is spreading them out well in this meet.
Yeah.
You've seen them a lot already. So
right, yeah. So now it looks like Cora Baumgartner, she's in a solid number 2 spot, trailing by about a body length as they move through the third leg, if you will. If you consider each 25 yards a leg, Anya Gustin now into the final leg, and she got a good push off the board here and looking to expand her lead.
Yeah, and May Denny's coming up on Cora, which is good to see her push up.
Yeah.
But the last place right here, Victoria Davidson looking really strong.
Yeah.
If she can outtouch, that's a really big thing to go 2-3-4 in this event.
Yeah.
That would outscore the Tech Tigers.
Yeah, that's right. And so the Cardinals will get the second and third place, and it looks like in lane number 2, I think Victoria Davidson is going to get the fourth place points for Alexandria.
2-3-4, that's a big one for Alec.
Yep, so Anya Gustin ends up winning. Anna Laudenbach will be 5th, but then it's 2-3-4. So Cora Baumgartner in second, 1:10.02 her time. May Denny ended up in third place there for Alexandria at 1:13.27. So
yeah, and Cora data just a little bit on her season, but May Denny actually had about a second time drop. So good to see her push up and drop a little time here.
Yeah, so 9 points for the Alexandria Cardinals, 7 for the St. Cloud Tech Tigers. So that gives Tech a 10-point lead. Now with the 100 freestyle coming up, we will have a junior varsity heat first, and that will be the one going on right now. That's going to have basically all Alexandria swimmers. I think it's Lacey Meyer in lane 2, Violet Odland in lane 4, Alice Novotny in lane 6, and Kate Tollefson in lane 8 as she swims exhibition. So Kate Tollefson, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, is at the very top, and I believe it's Violet Odland that will make the turn first here for Alexandria.
And then it's exciting to see these young girls get this chance to race and kind of, you know, you see them out there, and like Mark said, their numbers on Tech are down a little bit. But when we see our 4 girls swimming in that junior varsity, that means our program's doing well.
Yep, and I believe Violet Odland is the first one to make the turn at the wall, and now starting the third of 4 legs. Again, as you're watching on the YouTube channel, basically 25 yards across the pool from side to side. So 100 yards for the heat means that you do the laps 4 times. So Violet Odland now working on her final lap, and then over in lane 6, I believe it's Alice Novotny in a solid number 2 spot. Then Lacey Meyer down on the bottom toward your screen if you're watching on YouTube. She's working her way through her final lap in the 100 freestyle here. So she touches the wall, and then over in the exhibition lane, Kate Tollefson also hits the wall as well. So the winning time by Violet Odland in her heat here, 1 minute 8.03 seconds. So we had just 4 Alexandria individuals, no Tech swimmers in the junior varsity 100 freestyle, but now we will have a full lineup in the varsity freestyle. Now Allison Kagini will be exhibition in lane 8. The Cardinals will have Ning Zhang in lane 2, Brinley Zhammer in lane 4, and Allison Bow in lane 6. St. Cloud Tech will counter with Lillian Bowers in lane 3, Miriam Davis in lane 5, and Macy Roche in lane 7. And the athletes are on the board here, and they're all in the water for the varsity 100 freestyle. Good early push here for the Alexandria Cardinals in lane number 4, that being Brinley Zhammer.
And Brinley will push out. She's a good, strong swimmer.
Yeah.
So the challenge is going to be holding off Miriam Davis, and she's going to come and have that second half, and we'll see if Brinley can hold her off.
Yeah, right now it looks like Davis and Zhammer are the ones leading the way. Brinley gets to the wall first and makes that turn. Now she's into her third heat. And meanwhile, it looks like Alexandria has a possible second place standing and third place standing here, or actually third and fourth rather, Brindley Ziedhammer leading the way, and now she hits the wall, making her final turn, going for home here.
And Brindley had a really good turn there and pulled away from Miriam a little bit.
Yeah,
and she's moved up a little bit, and it's good to see those girls pushing in.
Yeah, Alexandria is going to get the first place points here from Brindley Ziedhammer.
And that's going to be a best time for her season. She was a 100, I believe, coming in, so couldn't get much closer to 00 and went 59-1.
Yeah, so. And I think after Miriam Davis goes third, it's Allison Bowe fourth, and I think the Cardinals Ning Zhang over in lane 2 got the fourth place finish for the Alexandria Cardinals. So
that's a 1-3-4 looks like for Alexandria on that one.
Yeah, and I think the
5-6 for Tech.
Yeah, so 6 points for St. Cloud Tech and 10 for Alexandria. So
that'll help that score a lot right there.
Yep, and I think we're going to move on to a break and hear a few words from our boosters of Cardinal sports programming through the event of the 100 freestyle. Updating the numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard, it is now St. Cloud Tech 58, Alexandria 52.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for experienced, hardworking people to join my company. When you work for us, you'll be home every night, no overnight hotels. Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
I just get a great satisfaction when I hear the relief in a customer's voice that they've been helped. They always feel it's an inconvenience when they call us. It's like, it's never an inconvenience. We love helping our customers.
At Viking Bank, we're invested in your journey.
Life can sometimes feel like you're navigating through construction. You hit a detour, run out of gas, or you're going the wrong way on a one-way street. But Lakeland Mental Health Center is here to help you get back to the right path. Visit lmhc.org. Help today for a better tomorrow.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
As we return to live action at Discovery Middle School in Alexandria, the event that is in progress right now is the 500 freestyle, and this is one of the longer events that you'll see during the course of the night, and it's a varsity-only event, no JV 500 free here. Introducing the athletes in the water right now. Ella Vander Heiden is in lane 2 for the Cardinals, Ava Love in lane 4, Lucy Kiefer in lane 6. And then St. Cloud Tech has Natalia Sandoval in lane 3, Maggie Cole in lane 5, and then over in lane 8, Alexandria senior Ashley Lubin is swimming exhibition. So Dave Molesworth, as we bring you back into the broadcast here, of course, we talk about 500 yards. That's a lot to swim here. So this is an event that actually takes several minutes to complete.
It really does, and most of these kids will be anywhere in that, mid fives to even up to 7 minutes, depending on that ability to swim at that speed. So we got Maggie Cole out in the lead from Tech, and she's got about almost 20-some yards of lead right now already in the first couple hundred. And she's out there moving well. And then you got Allison Bowe in second, and looks like she's right on pace to be on her season best time right now. So it'll be fun to watch as we go through. And it's always fun to see how those paces change as they get moving through there and hopefully pick up some speed at the end. Yeah, and the athletes have now gone anywhere, to 6 to 7 lengths of the pool. So to complete the full 500 yard freestyle, it ends up being 20 lengths. So they are working their way toward not quite midpoint, but if you go by percentages, they're about close to 40% of the way through their event tonight. Yeah, and the goal as they work through here is to not lose speed, but actually start gaining some speed kind of near that end and kind of push that average down a little bit if they can.
Yeah, do you have to, if you are an athlete in this event, Dave, do you pace yourself to, kind of start slow and then have more, effort and energy at the end, or?
You do a little bit. Like your true distance events like USA Swimming College have the mile, the 1,000, much longer events. In the 500, you're still got to push hard and go because it's only 500 yards. But, I mean, you definitely don't want to go all out in that first little bit or it's going to be a real rough ending.
Right.
So you do want to pace that out a little bit, but it's got to be a good enough pace that you're putting yourself in the race and or hitting those paces that you're looking for your best times.
Again, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, the Alexandria swimmers are in lanes 2, 4, and 6, and then at the top of the screen, the Cardinals' Ashley Lubin is swimming exhibition in lane 8. It's sophomore Ella Vanderheiden in lane 2 for Alexandria. Ava Love, a sophomore, in lane 4, and Lucy Kiefer for the Alexandria Cardinals in lane 6. St. Cloud Tech, Maggie Cole really doing some nice work for the Tigers. She is an upperclassman for the Tigers, and she's in lane 5. And then a little bit closer to the lower end of the screen, you've got Natalia Sandoval in lane number 3.
Yeah, and Maggie's got a season best time right now of 5:21 is what she's put up. And right now our closest swimmer is 6:23. So hopefully Maggie can push out and I use that, or Ava can push that and really use her as kind of some guiding force to really get going and kind of drop that season time. And we'll see what Maggie can do at the end. But, you know, it's right now we're sitting really good for that second, third, maybe even fourth position. And if we can hold on to those, that helps score-wise.
Yeah. Yeah, again, the individual scoring, 6 points for your first place finish. 4 points for second, 3 for third, 2 for fourth, and 1 for fifth place. So if you go 2, 3, 4, you can actually outscore your opponent in the event. So,
and Alec has done that a couple times today. And
yeah.
We watched that happen. And, you know, Tech's gotten those first places, but they can't always lock up second, third, and fourth. So
yeah.
That's helped Alex keep that score within range and maybe striking range at some point.
Yeah, and it looks like we're getting pretty close for Maggie Cole. I think she'll be on her 19th lap
right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she's about ready to make the turn. I just noticed her teammate stuck that orange card in, realizing that she's now going for home here. So
yeah, as a distance swimmer, that's what you want to see at the end. Is you want to see that orange card, and then you just get a little excited to just be done with it. But yeah, she's had a good solid race here. She's not going to put up a season best time, but a good solid race for where she's probably at training wise in the season maybe.
Yeah, I think 5:29.8 will be Maggie Cole's winning time in this event, and then you've got Ava Love getting close here, and she still has a couple
be on
more
her
lengths.
last 50 right now. It looks like Ava is.
Yeah, and
we'll see. She's 6:23, so we'll see where she ends up here.
Yeah,
she might be pretty close to that time.
Lucy Kiefler up in lane number 6 has made the turn, and I think she's got about 50 yards to go, and a little bit closer to us, Ella Vanderheiden with about 50 yards to go here. So right now, Maggie Cole into the winner's circle right now as she got the first place in the event at 5 minutes, 29.8 seconds.
And Ava did a great job there, a 4-second time drop on the season. So really, to some degree, maybe used Maggie Cole as kind of that feeder to drop some time at a 6:19.78.
Yeah, very good. So Ava Love will get the second place points. And now touching the wall is Lucy Kiefler. She'll be at 6 minutes, 34.46 seconds.
And that's a 5-second drop for Kiefer as well. So good swims on those second, third lengths there.
Looks like Tech's going to get the fourth place points. And so Tech is going to go 1-4. Alexandria will go 2 and 3. So it would either be 9-7 or actually I believe it should be would this be a possible split of the points? 8-8 if I'm calculating that correctly.
So they went 1-4, we went 2-3.
So we would be 2-3-5.
Correct.
So they'll end up splitting the 16 points there as Ella Vanderheiden touches the wall. Her time 7 minutes 22.05 seconds. So 8-8 split there. We'll give you the accurate numbers here as we reveal the new score. 64 points for St. Cloud Tech and 60 for Alexandria. I misspoke when we went into the last break, calculating that St. Cloud Tech had a 6-point lead. It was actually a 4-point lead. So that wraps up the Varsity 500 Freestyle. let's take another break as we'll get some messages to enjoy from our Alexandria Cardinal Sports Boosters. Then back with more live girls swimming and diving from Discovery Middle School in Alexandria on KXRA Radio and also through the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
I'm a nurse at heart. I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Cardinals fans, did you know that Cenex Midtown Express has a gas pump designated to support Alexandria Public Schools? For each gallon purchased, 2 cents will be donated to the schools. Pump up your pride at Cenex, your local hometown choice in Alexandria and Garfield. Owned by the community, supporting the community.
As we come back to live action at Discovery Middle School in Alexandria, the 200 free relay includes a junior varsity heat right now with a couple of Alexandria JV quartets in the water right now. In lane 4, May Denny, Kate Tollefson, Bailey Wall, and Kaylin McKibben are competing. And then in lane 6 for Alexandria, it's Kylie Sagadal along with Josie Betterman, Ava Rambo, and Trinity Rance. So 2 teams for Alexandria. And then when we get to the varsity 200 freestyle, then St. Cloud Tech will have 2 teams and Alexandria will have 2 teams as well. So I believe updating the numbers, 64-61 is actually the correct score. So Dave, I think you have mentioned earlier in the broadcast, is there a particular app where people can track scores, and do they need to subscribe to that app?
They do. It's called Meet Mobile, and it's really the only swimming app out there that runs live stats, and it's all pushed from the computer. So anytime they're running through that, a lot of club families, high school, college families know about it. But it's a nice one to have. I want to say it's like $5.99 for the year. So it is not over. I mean, you know, for what you pay for some of the other apps, it's pretty inexpensive, but it is nice to have if you're a swimming fan.
So does it allow you to track mates, say, at other Central Lakes Conference schools, or even on the college level? If we want to track the Cougars, can we do that?
You sure can. You can favorite teams. You can favorite even swimmers. So a lot of people, you know, like a lot of my club swimmers, I have starred because I want to see how they're doing throughout their high school season. Yeah. It's fun to look in on them and kind of see when their times go up and how they did. So.
Looks like Alexandria's A relay will touch at 2 minutes and 14 seconds, 4/10, and then Alexandria's B relay coming in at 2:23:54. So that A relay for Alexandria again, May Denny, along with Kate Tollefson, Bailey Wall, and Kaylin McKibben. So now we move on to the varsity 200 freestyle. St. Cloud Tech will have its relays in lanes 3 and 5, Alexandria in lanes 4 and 6. The Cardinals will have for their relay in lane 4, Brindley Ziedhammer, Allison Bowe, Ava Love, and Ning Zhang. In lane 6 for the Cardinals, you'll have Brinkley Schmid, along with Violet Odland, Maria Mayer, and Lucy Kiefer, that is. And then in lane 3 for St. Cloud Tech, you'll have Elsa Roenfeld, along with Brenna Gruber, Kayliana Menth, and Kiara Florick. And then in lane 5, Miriam Davis, Lillian Bowers, and Natalia Sandoval, and Alina Gustin. So I'm sure St. Cloud Tech hoping that their A relay will provide a strong showing here. And right now, Alexandria really showing well in the pool with their A relay, and I think that's Brindley Ziedhammer on the front.
And that's the fun part. Like those two saw each other in the 100 free, so then you kind of see those matchups throughout a swim meet. And now we get, you know, Allison Bowe in the water, and Brindley gave her a little bit of a lead. So now here comes our B relay up on that Tech A relay.
Yeah, so Alexandria looking good in the first position right now as Allison Bowe makes the turn along the wall. Now is going from our vantage point right to left in lane number 4 for Alexandria. And now she's about to have her teammate Ava Love get into the pool. St. Cloud Tech also has its third swimmer, Natalia Sandoval, coming in. And now pretty good effort here with Allison Bowe, or Ava Love rather, continuing to keep her team in front. And then over in lane 5, you got Natalia Sandoval.
And just like track, you're going to see kind of those big, kind of some of those bigger guns on the end. And Elena's over in 5 for Tech. So Ing's going to have a good lead on her, and we got her in the water. We'll see what Elena does and how this comes down to it at the end.
Yep, that's right. As you got the final heat here, and Ning Zhang about to make the turn at the wall, as is Alina Gustin, and
she's already pushed
close.
up to half a body.
Yep, and it looks like
Elena's
Alina
pushing.
Gustin.
Ning's got to push that forward.
Yeah, it looks like Alina Gustin is going to rally down the
just
stretch
coming
here.
ahead of her.
Yep, she's going to end up touching the wall.
She's going to out-touch her.
And the Cardinals are going to get the second place relay points and the third place relay points as well. So, but yeah, I think I think it was a matter of Alina Gustin really kicking it into gear at the end, and she ends up giving her team the win. Now that's going to be worth 8 points for St. Cloud Tech. Alexandria will counter with the second and third place points with 6. So I believe that will increase Tech's lead.
And I think only 3 places are scored on that.
Yeah.
So Tech would only get first place.
Yeah.
Allie gets second, third.
Yep, so 6 points for Alexandria and 8 for the Tech Tigers. I think we're going to head to another break here after the 200 free relay. We're going to have the 100 backstroke and 100 breaststroke straight ahead, but let's update those numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in varsity girls swimming and diving. St. Cloud Tech leads at Alexandria 72-67.
As the seasons change, so do the needs of your car. That's when Alexandria drivers turn to Mike and Josh at Precision Auto. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, trust a pro. Precision Auto on 8th and Nokomis, Alexandria.
Trum Drug has things in every aisle that you won't find anywhere else, and many of them are made right here in Minnesota. Stop in and grab something for yourself, a friend, or family. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service,
but kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
The junior varsity 100 backstroke is currently underway, and right now pretty evenly matched in lanes 2 through 5. Maddie Mole for Alexandria in lane 2, Donnie Wenzel-Singh in lane 4, and then you've got 7th grader Kayleana Ment in lane 3 and Raya Mickelson in lane 5. There is not a whole lot of separation between those swimmers, and then Ashley Lubin over in lane number 6.
No, it's really going to come down to who has the best last leg right here. And Wenzel-Singh, she's kind of some Alexandria swimming family as well as Mike Wenzel swam here too.
Yeah, Mike
Mike is her uncle.
Yeah, a terrific swimmer in his day for the Alexandria Cardinals. Again, he had the opportunity to be coached by Mark Stohog back in his high school career.
And actually, if you look over in the Cardinal nest, he's up in the orange polo back there.
So very good.
Cheering his niece on.
Yeah, so the winning performance there for the JV 100 backstroke is by Raya Mickelson. She had a winning time of 1 minute 27.48 seconds. So now we move on to the varsity 100 backstroke, and here we will have 3 athletes, actually 2 athletes competing for Tech, 3 for Alexandria. You'll have Ellie Meyer, the freshman for the Cardinals, in lane 2. Hannah Hoff, the junior, in lane 4. And Victoria Davidson in lane 6. Alice Novotny will swim exhibition in lane 8. The Tigers will counter with Nevaeh Guggenberger in lane 3 and Maggie Cole in lane 5. This should be an interesting tussle, if you will, between Maggie Cole and Hannah Hoff.
Yeah, these two saw each other in that medley relay, and Maggie kind of got the better of her there by just a little bit. So it'd be nice to see Hannah kind of push out with her and really go and use her to push that time down for a season best.
Yep, and right now Maggie Cole getting the early advantage as they get to the wall for the first time. And the turn is made, and Hannah Hoff staying right with Maggie Cole. Right now, Cole with about a half a body length lead, although it looks like Hannah Hoff starting to stretch out those strokes a little bit. But it's Maggie Cole that gets to the wall first, and now leg number 3 of the 4 laps that are swum here. And now it looks like Maggie Cole getting a little bit of separation.
Maggie Cole had a really good underwater and came out in front of Hannah Hoff off that last turn, and I'm guessing she'll do the same thing here, but she's been a multi-time state athlete in this event.
Yeah.
So really knows how to swim it well. But right now up in lane 6, we have Victoria Davidson, and she's doing real well holding into that second slot. So
yeah. And right now you're going to have Hannah Hoff. She'll get the second place points. I think up in lane 6, it's going to be Victoria Davidson getting to the wall.
Nevaeh's right there with her.
And so I think the third place points.
We'll have to check on that one because Davidson's pad didn't fire on that, so I'm not sure where she ended up. Looked like she touched the pad first, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I know the scoreboard isn't reflecting it, but I think Victoria Davidson touched the wall for the third place points. Let's see if they.
The clock stopped at 1:13. I don't know why it didn't punch up the time, but that would have been before Meyer. But it looks like and lane 3.
Yeah,
Nevaeh.
Yeah, so
they'll have to do some figuring at the table on what happened there, but.
Right, yeah, because I noticed on Victoria Davidson's time that it just kept running.
Yep.
So is that meaning that the pad on the wall didn't register the touch?
So it looked like it registered the touch on the finish, but maybe at the 50 she didn't hit it hard enough or missed the side of it or something, so it didn't register that first turn. So then it registered her finish as the 50 point. So that could have been what happened, but they'll have that time with stopwatches and stuff up on that Cardinals nest up there.
Yeah, so we know that Maggie Cole will get the first place points for St. Cloud Tech, and Hannah Hoff with the second place points. And now we're going to move on to the junior varsity 100 breaststroke here. And we have a total of 4 athletes, all from the Alexandria Cardinals. Ella Vanderheiden in lane 2, Kate Tollefson in lane 4. Now Josie Betterman in lane 6, and Vivian Myers swimming exhibition in lane number 8 for the 100 breaststroke.
And this is the fun part for me as the club coach, is watching these younger kids that I've been coaching for the last couple years and seeing them finally race at the high school level, and that's fun to watch.
So again, junior varsity heat here, and then the varsity will follow that. 4 athletes in the breaststroke here for the Alexandria Cardinals, and right now about halfway through, it looks like in the middle is Kate Tollefson getting ready to make the turn, and then Ella Vanderheiden also making a nice turn off the wall here. So
yeah, and those two are pretty tight with each other, so that'll be, this last 50 will be a good race for those two to see who can pull ahead of the other one.
Yeah, as the third leg is in progress from our vantage point, or if you're watching on YouTube, it's moving left to right here. And now one more turn at the wall, and
looks like Kate's kind of pulling ahead here. Just a little bit of Ella. We'll see if Ella's got a little bit left in the tank and kind of catch up to her a little bit.
Yeah, so I would say maybe about a head lead for Kate Tollefson over her teammate, although Ella Vanderheiden.
Ella.
Yeah,
Kate was kind of looking over her shoulder a couple times, making sure she knew where she was. And I think Ella took advantage of that and out-touched her just a little bit.
Yeah, Ella Vanderheiden would get
a 133.15 for Ella, and Kate at a 134.48 for the 1-2.
Yeah, and then Josie Betterman with the third place.
141.98 at third.
Yeah, so again, pretty respectable numbers there, and good work by Ella Vanderheiden to come back.
Yeah, you always worry about those kids that just have that little bit of gas left when you're kind of dying out a little at the very end, and they kind of come roaring up behind you. So
now we move on to the varsity 100 breaststroke here. St. Cloud Tech will have 2 athletes competing. Macy Roche in lane 3, Harper Doom in lane 5. Alexandria will have Maria Mayer in lane 4, so she'll be close to the middle of the pool. And then on the outside, Violet Odlin in lane 2 and Brinkley Schmid in lane 6. So this is the last individual swimming event of the night. Now the swimmers are all into the pool with a clean start, and looks like Maria Mayer and Macy Roche getting out in front. I think Mayer getting close to the wall. She should be the first one to touch there.
Yep, she had a good first 50, pulled about a quarter body length ahead. We'll see what she can do here in the second lane, getting ready for that finish.
Yeah, and now she's getting a little bit of separation, but staying close over in lane 5, Harper Doom for St. Cloud Tech. And
right now you have Violet Odlin moving into a third position, it looks like.
Yeah, and she's up in, or actually down in lane 2.
Closest to us.
Yeah.
So we'll see if she can hold that Tech girl off and get a second place finish in here, but Doom's moving up as well, so.
Yeah.
Or Brinkley Schmid is moving in. We'll see. She looks like she's maybe pulling into that second spot.
Yeah, Brinkley Schmid's starting to do some work across the way here, and now the final turn and working toward the finish here. Junior Maria Mayer for Alexandria, she's opened up a better than a body length lead here, and she's gonna be able to get to the wall, and it's going to be a winning effort for Maria Mayer. A 1:19.16 will be her winning time. And Harper Doom will get the second place points.
And it looks like Macy pulled in there at third place.
Yeah, Macy Roche will get the third place points for St. Cloud Tech.
And then Odlin there in fifth place.
Yeah, Brinkley Schmid the fourth place points, and Violet Odlin the fifth place points. So Alexandria in the scoring there gets 1, 4, and 5. So that would be 9 for the Cardinals and 7 for the St. Cloud Tech Tigers. We're going to take a break. We'll get some messages from our boosters of Alexandria Cardinal Sports Programming, then back with our final event. That is the final relay of the night, the 400 free relay. After these words on our Leighton Media platforms from our Cardinal Sports Boosters.
Fresh, family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
For over 30 years, Northland Buildings has been providing quality post-frame buildings to customers, serving clients across the upper Midwest since 1994. Northland Buildings. Quality buildings built tough for the Northland.
Northland Buildings.
Resorts Marine in Osakis. Check us out for new and used boats, pontoons, UTVs, and golf carts. For the whole outdoors, shop us first, shop us last, just shop us. Resorts Marine and Outdoors in Osakis.
Being locally owned here at the Culvers of Alexandria, Charles Johnson and myself, John Loomis, are very proud to be a part of the community. We enjoy the time we get to spend here, the memories we've made, and we're excited to see you after the game when you need to refuel.
Go Cardinals!
And
final event of the night is the 400 freestyle relay, and right now as you return to action on KXRA Radio and on the Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel, it's the Junior Varsity 400 free relay, and right now Alexandria has a couple of relays out there. In lane 4 toward the center of the pool, you've got the quartet of Alice Novotny, May Denny, Ashley Lubin, and Kaylin McKibben. And then in lane 6 toward the top of your screen, if you're watching on YouTube, it's Kylie Sagadol, Ava Rambo, Maddie Mole, and also Lacey Meyer. And calculating the updated numbers here, St. Cloud Tech has a 3-point lead in the varsity meet, 87 points for the Tigers and 84 for Alexandria, according to the Meet Mobile app that Dave Molesworth has been sharing the information with me on throughout the course of our broadcast tonight. Being that we are close to the top of the 8 o'clock hour, I do want to let you know that you are listening to People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM. We also have the audio through the Voice of Alexandria app, powered by Mission Mechanical, Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching our broadcast tonight. We've got the live video with the KXRA play-by-play on the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube. Our thanks to Integrity Title of Alexandria for being our signature streaming sponsor of Alexandria Sports play-by-play all throughout the 2025-26 school year. My name is Dave McClurg. I have another Dave as my broadcast partner tonight. It's two Daves on the airwaves. Dave Molesworth, longtime Alexandria Club swimming coach, also the University of Minnesota Morris Cougars women's swimming and diving coach. He's along with me for the coverage tonight. We've got J.P. Bolin as our videographer this evening. He's the man behind the camera doing the live video here at Discovery Middle School in Alexandria. Last school year, we introduced Alexandria swimming and gymnastics as part of our broadcasting profile, but tonight, a little bit of history in its own, our first event ever at the Discovery Middle School pool. So last year, when we did Alexandria girls swimming and diving in the fall, we had the road trip to St. Cloud Apollo. And then in the winter, when we followed Kathy Walker's boys swimming and diving team, the road trip was to Brainerd. And as it would turn out, that would be Alexandria's only dual meet loss in the conference. And then Alexandria came back and placed first in the CLC championships in boys swimming and diving to allow Alexandria and Brainerd to share the Central Lakes Conference title. Here it's a tight dual meet for the varsity competition. And Dave Molesworth, I know we'll have the varsity 400 free relay. We're going to have the full coverage of that coming up in a matter of minutes here. But I would think, whichever team can place first obviously is going to go a long way to trying to wrap it up. But if you're fortunate enough to get first in your Alexandria, you want to make sure you grab a second or third as well.
Yeah, that's going to be the challenge is, just looking at the lineup for Tech, they've got a couple of their big guns in there. So Alex is going to have a good swim, but if they can pull that win off and then take that third place, it looks like they could jump in and take this meet. But I don't know. Tech's going to be tough on that relay, and those girls know about it. The coaches know where these points are sitting, and you'll see them make adjustments late in a meet like this if they only need second, third. But it's going to come down to the swimmers and how bad they want to swim and win this event. So.
Yeah, and I believe in prep swimming, the magic number is you want to get above 93. I think 94 points is enough to clinch a meet, and I would think with St. Cloud Tech, I'm looking at what their A relay should be to have Anya Gustin and Maggie Cole in that event. It seems like Jen Dracker, Drakkar, the head coach of St. Cloud Tech, she might have some aces in the hole right there.
Yeah, she kept those two. She had Anya on the 2 free relay, and that was good for them there. But she kept a couple of her horses for this race, and I know on purpose. This is that fun 400 free. It ends the meet. Sometimes those meets come down to that one event, and just like tonight, it's going to. So it'll come down to what they do on this relay.
So I guess, nuts and bolts of it, if St. Cloud Tech gets a first-place finish, the Tigers are going to win the meet. It's just a matter of what the final score would be. Alexandria likely would have to get a first and then a third or first and second to overhaul to get enough points to move past St. Cloud Tech. Because, again, the first-place relay gets 8 points, the second-place relay 4 points, and the third-place relay 2 points. If Alexandria were to go 1-3, that should flip the meet to the Cardinals. But if St. Cloud Tech gets a first, that's going to wrap it up for the Tigers.
Yep.
So,
and really, if you look at the Tigers, I think a second and third at 6 points, they only lose 2 points. They're up by 3.
Right.
So it really comes down to this relay, and we need to win this relay and then take third as well.
Yep, so the Alexandria relay in lane 4 will include Cora Baumgartner, Allison Bowe, Ava Love, and Hannah Hoff. In lane 6, Allison Kagani, along with Victoria Davidson, Ellie Meyer, and Lucy Kiefer. St. Cloud Tech in lane 5 with Anya Gustin, Lillian Bowers, Nevaeh Guggenberger, and Maggie Cole. And then in lane 3, Elsa Roenfeldt, along with Kayliana Menth, Macy Roche, and Harper Doom. And right now, the varsity swimmers are in the pool. They have completed their first 50 yards of this 400 free relay. So,
and Gustin got off to a good start, but Baumgartner kind of closed the length in that first 50, and then Gustin had a little bit better turn on that wall. And there's just so many pieces that go into each race, and the strokes, the turnover, and the turns as well.
And Elena Gustin able to make that turn along the wall here, and You know, she's opened up about a body length lead here over the Cardinals relay with Cora Baumgartner in lane number 4 for Alexandria.
Yeah, and normally you're going to see your top 1 or 2 in that first and fourth slot.
Yeah.
So these middle 2 are really your key to this race. If they can push up and really kind of make up some ground, they might give Hannah Hoff some ground to really fight with Maggie Cole. And Maggie's a good sprinter, so that could be a real good battle.
Yeah, and right now for Alexandria in lane 4, you've got Allison Bowe in the pool. Lillian Bowers is in for St. Cloud Tech, and right now Bowers is still holding a bit of a margin, about a 1 body length lead as she gets to the wall for her second 50 meters, and now Allison Bowe pushes off the wall here.
Yeah, and it looks like Allison's moved up a little bit. Victoria's coming up on that 3rd slot, and it looks like she's swimming well in general. But, yeah, Allison needs to make up a little bit of room to give that 3rd leg a little bit of a chance to kind of maybe catch up and or pass that 3rd leg for attack.
Yep, and now it looks like Allison Bowe trying to...
She is doing a little bit of that.
Yep, she is closing some ground here. She's rapidly making up some yardage here. She might be the one to get to the wall first as the 3rd swimmers for each of the A relays are in.
That was close, and Alexandria now has a half a body length lead. So.
Yep, Ava Bowe in lane number 4 matching up against Nevaeh Guggenberger for St. Cloud Tech.
Yep, and they're even at the first wall, so they have made up a little bit on that 25 after a little bit of a slow start.
Yeah, so again, it looks like Ava Love trying to stretch out a little bit as she's going to get to the wall and make a turn here, and now,
even at the wall again.
Yeah.
This is going to be a race coming down to this 4th leg. This is going to be fun to watch.
Yep, and again in the hole for the teams, Hannah Hoff, the junior for Alexandria, and St. Cloud Tech's outstanding senior Maggie Cole. Now you've got Love and Guggenberger making the turn, and Guggenberger really got off the wall quite well, but again, Ava Love starting to make up a little ground here.
And Ava Love's pouring it on here at the end, so if she can get a little bit of a lead, that helps Hannah Hoff out because Maggie's going to roar this.
Yep, and
there we go.
Hannah Hoff is the first one into the pool, and let's see what she's able to do. Here comes
Cole is up and she's moving, so a little bit about a half body length lead into this first turn.
Yep, and Maggie Cole with a pretty strong turn, and now she's opened up about a half a body length lead over Hannah Hoff. And now Hannah trying to make up a little bit of ground here. It looks like she's stretching those strokes out. Maggie Cole makes the turn along the wall. Both the athletes there, less than 50 yards to go.
Yeah, here we come into this final turn.
Yep, and
Maggie Cole has opened up a little bit more of a lead now, and she's kind of pouring it on.
Yeah, she's about a 1 body length lead. Hannah Hoff hits the wall one final time. She's got to make up some ground, but it looks like Maggie Cole is going to be the first one to the wall, and that's going to clinch it for the visitors tonight.
Hannah's pushing hard, but Maggie had just a little bit too much left.
Yep,
the girls are going to go.
Yep, the St. Cloud Tech Tigers will get the first place points.
And I don't know what their final times were. For whatever reason, they're not up on the board right now. But
yeah, and I think
we might have to wait for that app to show up with our final totals here.
Yeah, and so the touch along the wall, I think Alexandria will get the 3rd place points here, but again, St. Cloud Tech, the Tigers' magic number was sitting basically at 7 to get the win, and because the first place finish was recorded by St. Cloud Tech, they will get 8 points to Alexandria 6. The Cardinals should go 2-3.
That was a good fight. That was a really good relay. Maggie Cole just had a little more in the tank. Hannah gave it a good effort and just couldn't quite hold on at the end.
Yep, so we'll confirm to see what the score would be. I think it's going to end up, my unofficial tally, 95-90 for the Tech Tigers in this Central Lakes Conference duel. And I think the meet has come to its conclusion. Again, Dave Molesworth is going to keep his tabs on the Meet mobile app there, but St. Cloud Tech is going to emerge victorious. Tight race, tight night of competition here at Alexandria's Discovery Middle School, but the visiting Tigers are going to get a slim win to go to 3-2 on the year, where Alexandria falls to 1-4.
Yeah, and a lot of good races, and it was fun to watch that. see them fight at the end of the meet like that.
So that's going to do it for our broadcast coverage. We invite you to stick around. We're going to take a break, and then we will get rolling with our post-meet coverage, brought to you by Jutner Motors of Alexandria on our Leighton Media platforms after this timeout.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
Professional-friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us.
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for people who have experience and are willing to work hard. For those that do, you can earn up to 6 figures working for my company. Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors, serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors, one low price, plain and simple, always.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CIRAC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
From your first home to a growing family, life keeps moving. Hi, I'm Sarah Iverson with State Farm Insurance. Every change means something new to protect. Let's start a conversation today about your peace of mind, because like a good neighbor, Sarah Iverson will be there.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new unused equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best, piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center, for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles 6 times for a great deal at Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
There is a man, an insurance man, located in the birthplace of America, where he is committed to helping you find the best coverage for your needs.
Welcome. I'm Keith. When you think of insurance, think of Bill Marks, where we do the shopping for you.
Ford, Lincoln, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, Jeep. Make it Jutner Motors your best price dealer. Make it Jutner Motors your best price dealer.
At the Discovery Middle School pool in Alexandria tonight, it turns out to be an exciting girls swimming and diving competition for Homecoming 2025. It goes down to the final event in the varsity competition. St. Cloud Tech was holding a 3-point lead, and a first-place finish would give the Tigers the meet victory, and ultimately St. Cloud Tech was able to get that as the Tigers had that first-place finish in the 400 free relay. Alexandria comes up so close, but Tech prevails by a final of 95-90 in the varsity competition. Good news for the Alexandria Junior Varsity. The Cardinals scored 72 in the JV meet, with St. Cloud Tech scoring 37. We welcome you to our post-meet coverage being brought to you by Jutner Motors in Alexandria. I am DMAC Dave McClure. We've got Dave Molesworth, longtime Alexandria Swim Club coach and presently also coaching the University of Minnesota Morris women's swimming and diving team over in Stevens County, and he's been gracious enough to join us tonight. And Dave, I thought, really fun competition. It's nice to see events where, points are getting split. I think we had one event where the 16 points were split evenly. We had some 9-7s, a few 10-6s and everything like that. But it just seemed to me as I kind of process what we have here, I think St. Cloud Tech, the marquee swimmers, somebody like a Maggie Cole, and then Anya Gustin and Alina Gustin, they are major point getters. And I think, if Alexandria had 3 individuals right along that caliber of a Maggie Cole and the Gustin kids, maybe this gets flipped for Alexandria. And that's not to say that the Cardinals didn't compete, because they certainly did tonight. But, boy, when you've got some people in your lineup that Coach Drakkar has for St. Cloud Tech, Maggie Cole really shined tonight, and Anya Gustin and Alina Gustin, I just they are the ones that impress me as to, what tipped the scales in favor of Tech.
Yeah, and that's kind of in dual meets, that's really the story. You've got a couple of those kids that really get those first places, and Coach used them really well and spread them out through events, so they were winning those events, and then they were taking that maybe a third or a fourth, or they weren't taking the 1-2 all the time, but that first place and a third or a fourth was enough to really stack up enough points to just creep out of here with a win.
But still, for the Alexandria Cardinals, I think they had a lot of good moments tonight. I think we'll just kind of dovetail into the announcement of our Culver's play of the game, brought to you by Culver's Restaurant in Alexandria. Welcome to Delicious. And I think Brindley Zeedhammer really showed well tonight. I think she had one individual event win. That was in the 100 freestyle. So we'll make that first place finish the play of the game. But, Brindley's ledger tonight pretty strong, as you were showing me through the Meet Mobile app there.
Yeah, and when she's on 2 relays that are second, and then second the 50 by not much, and then to win that 100 free, that's that big, you need those wins. And you need those events to come in first place to get the scores you really want over time. But, it was a really good meet for her, and like to see her continue that way.
Yeah, so Alexandria comes up just a little bit short on the scoreboard. I guess, as we dive into the numbers here, if you go by points accumulated in the swimming events, it was Alexandria that had a slight lead. But, boy, what Tech was able to do on the diving board, really that proved to be pivotal, because that allowed the Tigers to kind of maintain a little bit of space in the rearview mirror from the Alexandria Cardinals tonight.
Yeah, and that was the one event that really did kind of come through for them. You take the swimming events and take that big, the 1-2-3 finish out of that point total, and I think the swimming ends the other way. But then you have to add that in, and those divers do score a lot of points when you really need them to, and that really helped Tech kind of seal that victory.
I would think, the upside for the Alexandria divers, though, is that, the 3 that they had competing in varsity tonight, you have a junior and 2 freshmen. And I would think you've been around these kids through your time in club swim coaching, that I would think there's still a bright future for them, that in future years maybe it doesn't go 3-13 in diving, maybe it goes to 7-9 or 8-8, or maybe a flip.
Yeah, and that's the hope. You got a junior in Abby Haig who's doing really good things, clean some things up and really work on kind of some of that board work as we talk about coaching-wise. And then those dives are a little bit easier. They're a little bit cleaner, and those point totals go up. And then you got 2 young kids, and if those 2 continue to grow and kind of mature in that sport and learn what they need to learn, you kind of see them come up and start taking those places away from somebody who goes a 1-2-3. Now maybe they go 1 and we go 2-3, and then you don't have that big score gap.
But still, diving proved to be pivotal for the visiting Tech Tigers, outscoring Alexandria by 10 in that event in a dual meet that the Tigers ended up winning by 5. 95-90 was the final score. This is our post-match coverage being presented to you by Jutner Motors in Alexandria. I'll see if I can give a little communique to Coach Stohog and give him the option, if you'd like to have 1 or 2 of his athletes come upstairs to join us for some post-meet conversation. We will do that in our next segment right here on KXRA Radio and through the Voice of Alexandria live stream channel on YouTube.
Casa Jalisco. Take a trip south of the border to a place where you can savor the flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine. Casa Jalisco offers a true taste of Mexico without the airfare. Casa Jalisco, your Mexican getaway in downtown Alexandria.
Enjoy life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. Agard. We build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
CM Woodworks produces high-quality cabinetry and furniture locally, right here in Nelson. See their showroom at 7300 39th Avenue Northeast in Nelson. CM Woodworks. Custom wood creations. Designed for beauty, built for life.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new and used equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best, piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center, for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
The Tradesman Construction has built a rich history as being the premier, most referred, full-service general contractor in the area. They are a proud supporter of all Alexandria Cardinal teams. Find them online at tradesmanconstruction.com.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drug's app, Rx Local. Download the app, choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
I just get a great satisfaction when I hear the relief in a customer's voice that they've been helped. They always feel it's an inconvenience when they call us. It's like, it's never an inconvenience. We love helping our customers.
At Viking Bank, we're invested in your journey.
Motors post-match coverage. The Alexandria girls swimming and diving team has a close competition. St. Cloud Tech comes through with the 5-point victory. 95-90 is the final score. And looks like Coach Stohog might actually be coming up to visit with us. We'll see if he's willing to give us some of his post-meet thoughts as we've got the extra microphone here. Mark, first of all, we appreciate you joining us upstairs here following the St. Cloud Tech duel at Discovery Middle School. Dave and I were talking a little bit, this ends up being tight. I think you and I previewed it ahead of it during the pre-meet show that, it could be a cliffhanger, and it kind of turned out to be that way.
Yeah, it came right down to the last relay. If we would have had a little bit more, top end speed, and we only got 2 first places, so it's pretty hard to win when you only take 2 wins out of the 12.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about with the Tech coach, kind of moving the Gustins and Maggie Cole around to really kind of make sure she was in those first spots, really kind of hurt things.
Yeah, we have what we have, and we'll just keep making improvements, and hopefully we'll maybe come out on the positive end of those tight ones.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of fun to watch because I know that there were a few of the events where your team would go 9-7. There were some 10-6s. I think one event where the points were spread out 8 points apiece. But Coach Molesworth and I were saying, Tech really, I think, benefited itself by getting some separation on the diving board. What were your impressions of what you saw, not only out of your divers, but out of St. Cloud Tech's divers here?
Well, to tell you the truth, Dave, I was in looking at the scoreboard computer, so I wasn't even paying any attention to them. We were working on, getting the screens to come up the way we wanted it. So, I mean, we just got done finalizing the things at 3 o'clock. So it's still a work in progress. I still have in my mind better ways to show up stuff on the scoreboard now. But so I took the diving break for me to kind of put some questions together for our technician, who was here, by the way, the whole time. But I know Tech's always well coached on the diving board, so I did see a few dives, and there were some wows in there as I lifted my head up, from time to time and watched a couple of them. But
yeah, it was stunning. I think one of Tech's divers had a 0 on her last dive, a technical issue, but yet that score, including the 0, put her in 3rd place overall. And but yet I would think that there are some positives. Yeah, I know you want to see a few more first place finishes, but again, with the score being 95-90, that must mean that you're getting some 2nd place, 3rd place points, and even a few 4ths and 5ths here and there.
Yeah, we're, relatively young. We talked about this, so we have 11 or 12 freshmen. So, young team. We're still making lots of improvements. The girls are happy that they're coming back after their race and seeing that they, dropped a couple 3 seconds or whatever.
It was nice to see a lot of those time drops and season best marks on the day.
Right. So, and we take that as a positive, and we can't always dictate the outcome. And we have girls with certain times, and that's all you can do is just look for improvements, and then a team that's a little more vulnerable than Tech was.
Yep. We are getting together with Alexandria Cardinal girls swimming and diving coach Mark Stohog, joining us for our post-match conversation as part of the Juttner Motors post-meet show. Again, St. Cloud Tech gets the victory over Alexandria 95-90. Is it fair to say, Mark, that Tech and Alexandria are kind of evenly matched here, because you don't get a whole lot tighter score than a 5-point separation?
No, that's a pretty good meet. That, like I say, that came down to the last relay. One false move by Tech, and the score would have been the other way around almost. So, like I say, we're happy with what we accomplished today, and we can take back to practice now a few things we want to work on. They were just ahead of us at the conference meet last year, so they're about our caliber. So this was pegged to be a pretty tight one, as we talked about before the meet started, and it was.
A couple of other things I wanted to ask you about. I know you made reference to it during the pre-meet show earlier this evening. On Saturday, your swimmers and divers go up to the West Fargo area. Are you able to share a little bit of information on the Battle of the Border? I believe this involves a lot of North Dakota teams, and then obviously some from the Minnesota side.
Yeah, there's a half a dozen North Dakota teams and 6 or 8 Minnesota teams, including in that is some of the Section 8 AA teams that we'll see eventually with Moorhead and Bemidji, and so we're excited to see those people, because we talked about before that I'm sticking to my conference schedule, and so if we happen to see at an invite, which I guess that would be a great place to see a bunch of them if more showed up, but. I think Brainerd has their own invite maybe that weekend or something.
Yeah, I think there's something else going on. But it's nice to see different teams at different invites.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to see teams we'll never see before, but we're also going to see a couple that we wouldn't have seen otherwise if we wouldn't have come. So that's kind of nice that way too.
Then regarding the new gem on the north wall here at the Discovery Middle School pool, for opening night involving this brand new electronic board, scoreboard, message board, photo album, everything like that, did it work out all right, or are you saying it's an incomplete project right now?
Yeah, we're impressed. I mean, the first thing we do when people walk, the first thing that they do when people walk in is they say, "Wow, that looks fantabulous." So, so we're happy with the product, and but like I say, it's customizable, and I'm still in my mind I've got some customizable improvements to make on it, so it'll pop a little bit more.
Fun to individualize that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have really time to. I mean, the diving screen, I made that one, but the swimming screen, we didn't have really time. I mean, it takes a while to put all those things together on one screen and format it correctly. So we just use a stock one that was in the programming already, and we made a couple modifications to that quick, and so we could, so I could dedicate my time to setting the pool up and getting ready for the meet. So that wasn't the end product that you're going to see if you came to another meet next week.
Right. I want to give you the opportunity maybe to offer a few words of thanks as well. You pointed out, I believe, to purchase that electronic board brand new, somewhere around $70,000 or something like that.
Yep.
How impressive was it to raise the funds as quickly as it happened here in 2025? Because when you and I and JP traveled up to Brainerd on January 2nd, again, you were talking about the concept of hopefully having something
someday
in the pool in the future, and here on September 18th it's operational.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see the money generated, the funds coming in, the businesses that were supporting us, and the parents and alumni that made contributions as well. And, parents that I haven't seen for 25 years, but they're on my mailing list, and lo and behold, they must have felt pretty good about their kids' experiences when they were in swimming back in the 90s, and that type of thing, because there were some big checks coming in. But you look behind you at the banner behind you here, there's lots of big name businesses in town here: Geneva Capital, Douglas Machine, and we got a big chunk of money from the Cardinal Athletic Foundation from that golf tournament that I attended. Heartland Orthopedics, Hilltop Lumber, A-Guards. So nice of those companies to step up and want to be a part of this. I know they don't do it for advertising necessarily, but they just do it because they want their name out there to say that we support Alex athletics and activities. So it was really impressive, and the fact that we got it in so little time was amazing.
Yeah. Final wrap up for you. I want to give you the opportunity to provide some flowers to the guy off to my right. How special is it to have Dave Molesworth be so involved in the Alexandria swimming program as he has been for quite a while now?
Yeah, Dave is very knowledgeable. I look up to Dave. He's got more knowledge than I do. So, with him being around town for what is it now, going on 20 years? Or?
Well, it's my 22nd year in town. It's only my 16th year with the club.
Yeah, so I did the club for 25 years, handed it off to, the other people. I just couldn't do 4 seasons back when.
Great job of coaching the littles for us when I started.
I hit my limit after 25 years.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing boys and girls swimming, I was doing golf, and then I was doing club, and I was just like, oh my gosh, something's got to go here.
We've still got his littles ready, so whenever he's ready to come back and coach those little kids, they absolutely love him.
Yeah. Well, very good. Mark, we appreciate you taking the time to join us upstairs after the dual meet. Thanks so much for the accommodation to have us here. I noted, we covered your team's meet down at Apollo last year, but our first ever broadcast at the Discovery Middle School pool. I know it won't be our last. We'll be back here again, but thanks for all that you do for Alexandria Cardinals swimming and diving.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, and thank you guys for the broadcast. This is pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun.
Very good. That's Mark Stohog, the head coach of the Alexandria girls swimming and diving team. And to you, Dave, I want to say thanks so much. I know I've conversed with you over the phone a couple of times before, but hopefully we can have you back as a commentator in weeks or months ahead. But I wish you the best with your women's swimming and diving program at the University of Minnesota Morris, and continued success in the Alexandria Swim Club, too.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Very good. That is Dave Molesworth joining us for the broadcast tonight. Special thanks to Juttner Motors for presenting our post-meet coverage. Our next broadcast of Alexandria Cardinal Sports Play-by-Play is less than 24 hours away. The homecoming football game at Viking Bank Field. Alexandria versus the number 1 ranked team in the state, the Elk River Elks. Game time is at 7 Friday night, and the Juttner Motors pregame show will take air at 6:30. Don't forget, the homecoming parade is tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. You'll have the opportunity to see a lot of Alexandria students along the parade route. And, yes, even some media types are going to be on the parade route as well. I think we're part of unit number 15, the Leighton Media Float, down Broadway and across 5th Avenue West as well. Keep in mind that there's going to be traffic congestion around Broadway from mid-afternoon to late afternoon tomorrow. So if you normally travel Broadway through downtown Alexandria between 3 and 5 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, be prepared to use alternate routes because the parade route means that Broadway is going to be blocked from 3rd Avenue all the way down to 17th Avenue from 3 to 5 tomorrow afternoon. Big thanks to Jackson back at the KXRA studio in Alexandria and to my videographer for our broadcast coverage tonight, J.P. Boleen. This is DMAC, Dave McClurg, saying goodnight from Discovery Middle School in Alexandria, where the Cardinal girls swimming and diving team has a tight one against the visiting Tech Tigers, but St. Cloud Tech prevails 95-90.